your boy Liger, one half of Nintendo Duo, and this is our first Ncast, the official one. The other one last week was just a test run to get everything set up. So we basically were talking about third parties, but I have a small little cast right now, but hopefully anybody else who's joining could join in. But of course, I want to introduce my guest, Mr. Active Sin. What's going on, man?
Hey, how you doing? Hey everyone, Alex here. Glad to be on episode 1 of the Ncast. Honor. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's no problem, man. It's no problem. So basically, like I said, I got this because, and also you're one of the person who kind of put us in the feed of the Google Plus with the whole Tendo, the badass elephant,
Oh yeah.
and how that thing's set up. So I want to break down some stuff of that. But the first question basically is, what and right now, it don't matter what console, just in general, what do you think of third party itself, the third parties this day and time?
A lot of them lately have been, I don't know if I want to use slacking, but like lackluster, I guess. It's been kind of letdown after letdown. Nothing's been really living up to the hype that builds up behind the games. And that's kind of alarming considering we're in a new generation now. And things like 1080p and 60 frames and bigger worlds, these should be non-issues at this point.
You're right. It should be non-issues at the point. The funny part is too. Let me elaborate quickly on that to say everybody's talking about the whole stuff in Nintendo and the third-party stuff. Nintendo gave the third parties, Ubisoft and all those guys. I've seen the dev kit of all three companies, and they gave the dev kits to all three companies way earlier than Sony and Microsoft. So there's really no excuse. Those guys, it's just the whole publishers holding them back. And kind of like you said right there with the lackluster. One is everybody's building up too much hype for these games. Why?
Yeah, like a perfect example is Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs might be the most hyped game of all time, possibly, and that's why
Yeah.
it was kind of a huge letdown to everyone. But I recently beat it on Wii U like a week or two ago, and the game's actually a good game. It's just like
Yeah.
there was no possible way it could live up to what people thought it was gonna be.
Well, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna pick up that game and play too. The problem is not that it was hyped up like you said, but next thing that kills me is they had their mini games that used the gamepad better than what Ubisoft used it with, which is
Yeah.
sad.
Oh yeah, I know. All they did was put the map, and that there was no reason putting that map. At least to me, doesn't seem like it was worth a 6-month delay.
No, you just said you beat Arkham. You basically gonna beat Arkham City. You saw how they use
Yeah,
the
the
coding
gamepad is
and
great.
yeah. So why they couldn't do all the time? I was thinking that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna have the little code that you gotta hack in and do little mini games and stuff to make it interesting.
Yeah, because like Batman, the hacking is like a side thing, and it's way better on Batman than it is in Watch Dogs, which is insane
And
considering Watch Dogs is based around hacking.
I know that's the part that like kills me. You see an example how to do something, but they didn't do it. So it's
Yeah.
kind of crazy how that sets up like that, which is kind of infuriating. But and then like I said, I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna play. Just like you guys, because I'm a new channel and I just started. Just like you guys, the whole um, Ubisoft boycotting. I'm behind you on that. I can't. They've been messing up too much now.
Yeah, well, it's frustrating. It's like people seem to get the whole boycotting thing wrong. It's not like we're not gonna play the game at all. It's more I look at it this way: I'm gonna buy it used, so they don't get my money, but I'm still gonna play their game.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I'm cool with that because that's what I'm doing with Watch Dogs. Because I had that thing when, like you said, I was part of the hype train. Where I don't get hype over games really because whatever it comes out, it comes out. I'm not that kind of person. Me and
yeah,
Katie is like. Like when games come out, it comes out when the directs come out. We don't go in with a mindset because we just want to be blown by stuff. And I'm gonna do a video about that. The one game that changed me from ever doing it ever again, and it blew my mind. That was Metroid Prime. Was like because I was gonna end gaming with Metroid Prime, and
yeah,
then when that game came out, because I don't know if you saw the early screenshots or the magazine when EGM had it, when it had those horrible pictures of what the game looked like inside. And I'm gonna put a video about that. And it looked horrible. And I was like, they're gonna make a first-person shooter of one of my favorite games. You know what? And I remember telling my grandma, I was like, if this game is horrible, I'm stop playing games forever.
Yeah.
And that game, I went in with low expectations, and I played that game all through the night when that game came out, and I was like, okay. That made me say, I'm a Nintendo fan from here on out.
Yeah, well, you don't generally have to worry when it comes to Nintendo games. Like, yeah, there's some misses here and there, but for the most part, they're generally good games.
Yeah, and that's true. And like I said, when I see people getting that hype, something like I said, I had put money into Watch Dogs. I had it pre-ordered, ready to go.
Yeah.
And when it kept on pushing it back, and then when they did the reverse of Rayman, I was like, you know what? I'm done.
And then the biggest problem was when they hyped everyone up with that PC build and then did a 180 and brought the graphics down by half.
Yeah, I know. And then the code, of course, inside the coding, they
was
took
hidden
away.
inside the PC version, yeah.
Yeah, which sucked.
That shit is crazy.
That sucked. When my friend unlocked that, I was like, huh, okay. Oh well, that's kind of messed up. But right now, this is 2015, and the couple of AAA games that's already coming out are not living up to that hype either.
Nope.
Cause the first podcast I wanted to do with my friend Double T, he's an Xbox guy, and he bought that life for his PC, and then he turned that crap right back in a week later because he had two game-breaking bugs in it. He clipped through the building, and he lost his whole progression for the 2 hours he played that game.
Oh, what the hell?
And then he had a part where the zombie was coming at him, and he got stuck in the roof. And he's like, you know what? I'm done, taking it back. And then of course, Order 1886. I'm not a person. I don't bash no games like that. People want to buy what they want to buy.
Yeah.
But the content, nah, I can't.
That game, like, I don't know. It just strikes me as the perfect example of a game you should be renting instead of buying.
I'm with you with that. I mean, again, if people want to buy it, you buy it. But it's just so simple, and they spend 4 years basically getting the graphics engine up. That's basically what it did.
Seems like it, because it's been in development for, what, 5 years?
Yeah, that was it. 4 years because of how certain studios do certain things, which I got so much videos I gotta do, but it's because of my time running the company. It kind of sucks. But yeah, there's certain ways certain parties do their they set up their games to be developed, and like I've seen inside of Square Enix. When Final Fantasy 15 comes out, I hope it plays as well as 8 and 10 and 7, and not a fun gameplay like 13 and. Because they wow you with the graphics, but the gameplay was stagnant.
Yeah, because that's where they're focusing all their money in, right? They're just trying to make a visual wow so you run out and buy it because of how good it looks.
Yeah.
That kind of sucks. That looks like that's what the focus is for everyone.
Yeah, and then of course you got people essing on Xenoblade Blade Chronicles that's coming out because the person's face
Because the character models, yeah. That's funny to me. I don't know, like I read so many people saying like the dumbest shit. Like, when they showed that last trailer when Nintendo's like showing you all the different sceneries and how big the world is, people are like, oh, what? All you do is run in this game? It's like, you gotta be stupid, right? All they're doing is showing you the different areas.
Oh man, I know.
Like, you can't be serious.
I wonder about gamers sometimes, the modern gamers, because the next video I'm going to put up, basically I work on it tonight, is about skins, where I subbed to the Escapist just to watch Zero Production, the guy with Yahtzee.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I'm talking about? And he did a video about Evolve, which in Evolve, he said the one question that we need to ask AAA game, what the fuck you need all this money for? which is the truth. Why the
Yeah.
hell I would pay $260 for a game?
Who would do that? Like, I want to meet the person that would do that and ask them why.
And the thing about it, the reports already done coming out that from the servers that the drop off already from that initial start of the game is already happening.
Yeah. The game's like within its first week fell out of the top 40 for Steam.
Wow.
That is rough.
I ain't been on Steam in a while. So yeah, you open my eyes to that one. I ain't been on Steam in a while. So yep, that's crazy. I think the last game I bought on Steam, which the one that commented on your video, was the Freedom Planet, which is a good game.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, I'm happy it's coming to Wii U. That's a really good game. People, the Sonic fans, hey, this is the closest thing you would get to a good Sonic game. Please buy it.
Yeah, no
It's
kidding.
Yeah, it's a good game, but it's dropped off. And the same thing happened with Titanfall. The same thing that happened with Titanfall 2 if they don't have a single campaign. Because, I don't know, it's just weird.
I
How
hope
the
they
game,
fix that with Titanfall 2 and actually give it a campaign.
I hope they do. I hope it's not bots or, you gotta fight against, stuff like. Yeah, I just hope they learn a lesson from the one and make it
Yeah,
better too.
expand it.
Yeah, just like how you and Bear and Coupon and all say, hey, let's make Splatoon whatever because of the whole voice chat thing, and
Yeah.
let's get a franchise out of it. Because the one thing I'll point out here, and this is the point out here about Splatoon, and a lot of people to get it straight. The Wii U has voice chat capabilities in the dev kit. Is in there,
Yeah.
but it is Nintendo. If you say it's a fault, it's a fault. They don't want to do it. They
Yeah,
could do
they
it,
flat
but
out
they
don't
don't
want
want
to
to
do
do it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
So
like it's incapable of it because we've already seen it.
yeah,
It's
they could
in
do
Call
it.
of Duty. It's in other games, so it can be done clearly. But they
Yeah,
they just don't want to.
they gave when I looked at the dev kit, they gave developers the option to do it. If you wanna use the voice chat, you can use it. It's in the system, but it's up to them. And I at night, we have a voice chat. I did a video about that. If they could patch it in, seeing if they could patch it in, I don't know. The system, like I said, the dev kit didn't show that it could do that, but if they can, I am not going to be arguing. I'll be happy for everybody who wants it, because
Yeah.
if they want it, they want it. But to get to the nitty gritty now about the third parties, let me like I said, since it's just me and you on this right here. Do you know how the game, the R&D?
Sorry, you kind of cut out there.
I'm sorry. Do you know how the R you know how was the GameCube developed, the R&D?
Uh, didn't they like go to third parties and ask them what they wanted essentially?
Exactly. They went straight to third parties because to give a basis to anybody who's listening, and of course future listeners of the podcast, Yamaguchi made sure that they had a quality setup, of course, and everybody knows this, of course, with how they give their games to people. And you had to pay for you had to pay for a license, and you had to pay for the cartridges. And if you didn't reach to their standards, they throttle you on the cartridges, which was expensive at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And back in the 90s, it was developers. Developers were publishing their own games, like Midway, Acclaim, all those guys. Well, of course, now, and after 64, where they had the debacle and everything else, yeah. But in GameCube, because they saw what happened in 64, they went out and asked, like you said, third-party developers, what do you guys want in this new system? And the thing that killed me with like the gaming side, like IGN and game trailers, the funny thing is they've done interviews. They've done interviews with these guys, but then they forgot the interviews they've done with them and don't bring them up.
It's not forgetting. It's very deliberate.
You think it's very deliberate?
Yeah.
Because IGN NBC, they had a podcast with Silicon Knights, Dennis Diak, and he talked about how he helped with the sound coding chip for the GameCube. Of course, you have Julian Egbert for Factor, who was the owner of the head of Factor 5 when it was there. Factor 5 is not around that much; they're a different name now. But he also helped with the video chip, the video coding, and the sound coding.
Oh yeah.
And they also asked I forgot a guy from Activision also because they wanted to turn the C buttons from the 64 into a C stick.
Okay.
So and the one thing a lot of people keep on forgetting was, I'll ask you this question to see if you had it. Back when the fifth generation to the sixth, there were a lot of pirated games going on. A lot of people don't know about that. China was killing the pirate market. That's why the consoles have not gone back in the China market and also have done well. Because it was getting pirated. And I'm gonna ask you this question: Have you ever bought a pirated game?
No, I never had my systems built for that or modded or whatever. So
You
I
don't
just.
have to mod them. No, you didn't have to mod them.
Oh really?
Nope. I have, and that's what I'm gonna say right there. When I had my PlayStation 2, I had Street Fighter Alpha. And when I was in college, a guy just came, hey, you want to play Street Fighter Alpha? It was a regular DVD disc. Pop it in there, and do
That
the whole
works.
PlayStation click thing, and it worked. I got Street Fighter versus Capcom 2.
Yeah.
It's a white disc with an X. It ain't got no graphics, ain't nothing on it, but it plays the game on my Dreamcast fully.
Wow.
They lost millions of dollars on pirated games. So what happened? What third-party developers said was, "Hey, can you guys, since they were the drive of the game,
Yeah.
they told them, hey, how about you give us a way to games to not get pirated?" And Nintendo came up with this small 3.5 disc that was burned out to in instead of in to out, so their games could not get pirated.
Right. Yeah, and then they had
Oh,
their little mini disc because of that.
yeah, and for the gamers out there, please be quiet about the whole, oh, it's two discs. Hey, there's games on 360 that had 2 discs, 3 discs as well. So
Yep.
don't say it couldn't be done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
But
a thing of the past now. But yeah, there's definitely games that had multiple discs, and for other consoles, it didn't seem to be an issue.
and those were bigger discs.
Yeah.
But time out. What's going on, man?
Oh,
I
so it's
don't know if you
Michael.
can hear me. I don't know if you can hear me.
Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay, man. What's going on, man? Thank you for joining Ncast, man.
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
All right. Well, like I said, I was talking.
I had to sneak away. I had to sneak away.
We all had to sneak away. Yeah, we talking about how the GameCube was developed by all the third parties exactly the way the developers wanted, and Nintendo gave them the chance.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then, you know, when anybody finished this, who never seen this, you go check out the podcast, of course, on KD Flow. That's our channel, and you could listen to it. But yeah, I mean, did you ever bought any game that was pirated? Time out.
No.
I mean, time corner. Sorry.
I believe I maybe on the PC long time ago, like maybe like early 2000s. I can't remember, but nah, I
Okay.
haven't bought nothing for no.
Okay, and that's what I'm trying to say. That's why that is Alex and we were talking about. They burn the disc the backwards way so you could not pirate the game. So they did it exactly what the third developers wanted.
Oh, so okay, so that's what they requested for
That's what they
Nintendo
request.
to do.
Yeah, that's what I wanted Nintendo to do because as I told Alex, I bought Street Fighter Alpha 3 for PlayStation. That was a regular DVD disc that I just put in there and played it for $10. I bought Capcom vs. SNK for my Dreamcast. Again, $15 for that game. I bought it, played it. It works fully. No problems, no glitches, nothing.
So they
And then
just pretty much.
Huh?
So third party pretty much just asked for something, but didn't. I'm guessing didn't stick with them even after they opened up to them.
Well,
Pretty much what it sounds like.
and this is what I want to know. And this is what's going to be the breakdown right now, which that's what me and Alex we're going to go to right now. And Alex, you and Bear Hugger has talked about this before, and you are right about this. When Yamamuchi because in the sixth generation, games became more expensive to make.
Yeah.
And we have examples of third-party developers shutting down. Acclaim, Iguana. Remember, Iguana became Retro, but most of the team left because they couldn't make the games no more. Iguana, Midway, uh, which made cool ass games back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't because back then developers were publishers, but now they needed more money to make games. So EA saw the chance and start saying, you know what, let's go public and start publicly trading with shareholders and stuff. And they basically told developers, studios here, we'll buy your game and we'll fund it, but you gotta abide by our rules.
Yeah.
And in 2003 at the GDC Awards, Iwata said, Iwata said that be careful because now that it's publicly shared, game studios are gonna be gaming is gonna become a commodity.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna be like it's not gonna be it's gonna be a commodity and then it's gonna start the whole crash once again because we're gonna start getting stagnant and want to do copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste.
Which is exactly what's happening now.
Yeah, yawn, copy and paste.
Yeah.
Every game thinks it's Call of Duty or Grand Theft Auto.
Yep. And it's copy and paste and copy and paste. That's what's going on. So what happened now with Nintendo is as I started off with Alex, I'll give you an example. Shinji Mikami of developers who as time you saw me say this many times too, the difference between publishers and developers.
Yeah.
The developers love Nintendo, but because they need money to fund to make the game, they go to pubs, but the pubs don't like them.
Yeah, the publishers they're in the war with Nintendo.
Oh yeah, yes. Developers like it because,
whatever it is. Yeah.
Well, here's what it is because Shinji Mikami, you guys know him as the director and the creator of Resident Evil.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
He hates Capcom for what they did in the 6th generation. He optimized Resident Evil 4 for the GameCube. And it was supposed to be a contract deal of the Capcom 5 that you guys heard that deal all the time. Then, when Capcom said, "Well, we got the money, whatever," they put it over to PlayStation.
Yeah.
They did that without. Yeah, they did a backdoor deal and went over to PlayStation. Now, let me put this out for anybody out there. For me, I don't care about stuff. It's a good game. I hope everybody enjoyed it when they played it. That's a good thing. I'm not hating on that. But Shinji Mikami hated that they did that.
Behind his back. Yeah.
Yeah, because it didn't have the same sound. The graphics were nowhere compared to the GameCube.
Yeah.
And Julian Egbert.
Handle it.
Huh?
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You were saying something.
Yeah, I was just saying because at that time the PS2 wouldn't be able to compete with the GameCube on a power standpoint.
And to back up and to jump right behind you, what you said, Alex. Julian Egbert again on NVC voice chat. They talk about the voice chat. Let me see. I'm trying to remember the episode where they talk about the Star Wars, the missing game from the Wii. That's the episode. He talked about. He said definitively the GameCube was more powerful than the Xbox and the PlayStation 2.
It was stronger than the PlayStation 2, that's for sure. The Xbox, I thought it was on par.
He worked on the Xbox to try to do that next the Battlefield game, and he said he couldn't do certain things because of the graphics.
Oh, I see.
He's on that podcast. You go NVC, check it out. He's on that podcast where he said it. And then when he worked on 360, he said, hey, basically the 360 was two GameCubes coming together. So again, if anybody out there want to check it out, because I'm a person about my facts, is NVC. The show is basically the missing Wii Star Wars game, and Julian Eberg of Factor 5, former Factor 5, he explains his reasons on that.
Missing what?
And
Missing Star Wars.
See what you're saying? That's the name of the podcast. Like, you know how they got names? I don't know the episode off the top of my head.
Oh, okay.
But it was the missing Star Wars game that was supposed to come to the Wii, and that's the name of the podcast. And you go check NVC and you see that and you listen to it, you hear exactly what I'm saying right now that Julian Ebert said. He said that the 360 was two GameCubes come together when it comes to power. Cause that's
which is essentially what the
Xbox.
Wii is.
Yeah, which is cool. Nothing wrong with that. So Shin Mikami hated that, and then Shin Mikami again praised Nintendo because let me see, Yashori Saito, who did the what do you call it, Umbrella Chronicles and the Darksiders Chronicles.
Hmm.
He praised Shin Megami and said, "Man, this is what I wanted to do with. This is why I like the Wii at the time because of the remote,
Right. The motion controls.
the motion controls, and of course the pointer. Because remember, you shoot exactly where the pointer points. If it's calibrated right, you can't get no more precise than that. Dual sticks cannot.
They
It's not
can't
faster than,
imitate it, yeah.
the remote.
Oh no, not even close.
Yeah, it's the next best thing to a mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, it's the next best thing to a mouse and keyboard. Like Alex said, it's true. And when they did the Wii U version of, not the Wii U, I'm sorry, the Wii edition of Resident Evil 4, Shinmi was like, "Oh man, this is awesome. This is what I wanted the game to be."
Yeah, and
It's
the
fun.
Wii version is the best version.
Yep, that's true, and that's what I mean. Hey, that's why I'm saying that was good. I should say that the developers like it. And right now you can see Shin Mikami, he left Capcom, just like Kenji Inafune. I don't know, because of the publishers, they block it. I don't know why you block the creator of the game to not make a Mega Man game. That don't make no sense to me.
I know, that's madness. And yeah, we all know what
And
happened.
he's
He
like,
pretty much just said, fuck you guys, and he went and made Mighty Number 9.
yeah, but the thing that killed me is he is the creator. It's like telling Miyamoto, hey, don't make Mario. What the hell?
Like, that's insane. And they had him doing what, like
I don't-
mobile games or something, right?
Maybe because he wanted
Yep.
to put it on the Wii U.
Bro, yeah.
No, it's not because they wanted to do. It's not because they wanted to do. No, he just wanted to do an next Mega Man game, but they stopped him. That's why NC Creates is making the Gunvolt games and stuff. That's why Kenji Inafune is a part of that, because that's basically his successor for that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a reimagining
and-
of Mega Man.
Which is a cool game. Yeah, me and Katie play that game. It's an awesome game, and also my name Gunvolt,
There's a
the
second one
NES
coming
remake.
already.
Yep, and we played it, loved it, but that's why a lot of people need to know the publishers hold, because when you do a contract, the publishers hold 90% of anything you do, and
Yeah,
to
'cause
what
it's their money.
yeah,
Yeah, because
and
the
to what
developers. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
go ahead. No,
No, you
go
go
ahead.
No, I say yeah, because the developers they want their game to be, they want people to play it. They want,
Yeah.
especially what they were making it for. And I think it was what's that company, Naughty Dogs on Sony, and I've never looked into it. But I believe people say like one of the lead developers is now on now works for a Nintendo studio.
Well, I know the lead designer of Naughty Dogs did left. Yes, I
Yeah,
don't
no,
know
I
where
heard
he's at
one-
right now, but I know he left. Also, the screenwriter, one of the screenwriters
Yeah,
too.
the
They left.
screenwriter left. One of the
Maybe
voice
that's what he-
actors left as well for
Oh,
like
he
the
left
villain or something.
Wow.
So there's clearly some stuff going on with that game, which is part of why it probably got delayed.
Which again, I'm not gonna be bashing nobody. I'm happy you guys.
Oh,
let the
I'm
game-
glad it's delayed because like if it's not done, don't bring it out.
Which that's that is so true. I don't know why we need this fascination with getting this new shiny thing. Now I understand PlayStation has the least amount of exclusive. I do know that. You guys, Bloodborne's coming out, so hopefully.
Bloodborne looks alright. Like
Yeah.
for what it
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
it's a reskin Demon Souls. Like let's call it what it is, but the game
Yeah.
looks good.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty much that.
Yeah, and it looks. I hope that it goes well. But when I've seen like videos and Alex, I've seen some of your, how should I say, the subs that you guys you talk up to.
Yeah.
I can't sub to those guys because they say some stuff that just like nah, I can't.
Yeah.
YouTube
can't
is
remember
just
what
entertainment
Bloodborne
to me, so.
I understand what you're saying. It is entertainment, but I just can't. I was like, do you understand?
I
the
only
stuff
believe the things that I say or read. Like the things other people say is kind of just there for laughs.
Yeah, it's humorous. It's humorous.
yeah,
clean up
because
comedy.
some of those guys,
To an
I'm like,
extent.
yeah. Do you understand what's coming out of you guys' mouth? Really?
Yeah, it's just how it is, right? Can I just have to roll with it?
True that. You're right because I've seen. I watched the video with Twilight and see what he said. And everybody like putting thumbs down on what he's saying. I'm like, dang.
Yeah, a lot of people are angry with what he was saying, but like, what
What did
was
he
he
say?
really saying? Like, all he was saying is that the Order, objectively as a game, it kind of it doesn't stand up to what it should have been, and people freaked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's
The order. I
basically.
mean, that,
Go ahead.
the order. I mean, I don't know. I ain't got, actually, I got nothing to say about the game. I'm just kidding. I don't got nothing to say about that game.
Well, everybody. I mean, I got
I
a video.
haven't played it, so I can't. I don't got nothing to say about it.
True, cool. And I got a video about Order 1886 versus Kirby Canvas Curse. And that's if anybody out there, that's my video. That's my answer to anything. Because
I saw that. I
I
saw that
don't
video.
care.
Those
Yeah,
two
I don't
games
care.
couldn't be any more different. It's crazy because
And
Kirby
actually-
focuses on gameplay entirely, and not really graphics, and whereas
Mhm.
Order is all graphics and not much gameplay. And the Kirby is $40 as opposed to 60.
60. Yeah.
It has a longer campaign. It has challenge modes, and it's scored higher with reviews. So like, it's just insane. Like they're being outdone by a budget title that was done within what, a year maybe versus a
Yeah.
top,
This game was like 5 years.
Uh,
6 years.
yeah,
Kirby was done in 2 years because it
2
takes
years. My bad.
about
Yeah.
it takes 2 days to do the Kirby animation, and then to do the background it took 3 months.
Okay, 2 years.
So it took them a while. But of course, it's stop animation, as Mr. T has said many times. To do certain things with stop animation, it takes a while to
Oh yeah,
capture it.
absolutely.
Hey, guys, I'll be right back.
No problem, man.
Because if you ever seen
But,
like
you know-
a claymation movie, if they show you behind the scenes stuff, it takes them forever. Because they gotta stop it and do everything one by one. It's nuts.
Yeah, and that's what I've seen. I've not been back in Japan in a while. I'm gonna hopefully go over there this summer to do some contracts and blah blah blah. But I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna just jump in at Nintendo and see what's going on with some of the studios, because one of the guy is, one of my connections inside of Nintendo is my friend Kenji. I met him in 2000, and he has been hooking me up from since then. As many people, if you go to my channel, you see our 3DSs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, our 3DS is different from everybody else.
Oh, you get like special edition ones?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Ours look like Japanese, like Japanese bamboo and everything on it. The whole inside, outside, the whole thing's decked out.
That's cool.
Yep. I mean, we have a video about it, and so yeah, it took. Well, everybody get their 3DSs way early. We got ours like a month later. As I said, thank you, California, for the damn port strikes.
Oh yeah, that's really struggling with me, frustrating me with Amiibo shit right now because of all those port strikes. But that's kind of whatever.
Dude,
I think
yeah,
that's done now.
it's kind of done. It's still not relevant because because I'm gonna do a video about that too, because it kind of, because gamers are always talking about there's a world outside of gaming, people.
Yeah, of course.
And I've seen you, Alex, and Bear Hug, and I put this question to you guys, and you answered it. Thank you. But the reason everybody was talking about the price drop, there's the price drop for the Wii U. It was not a smart idea for them to do the price drop last year. It was not, because the economy is not straight.
Yeah.
Huh? The
Well, there's
economy is
a
not
lot-
straight because
Yeah, the economy is a big part of it for sure.
yeah, because the one thing that hurts Nintendo is the exchange rate. As you guys, you being in Canada, you feeling that right now because games
Oh
has
yeah,
gone
we're
up in your
feeling it
place,
big time. Yeah, games just went up from $60 to $75.
which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But that's what's hurting. That's what hurt Nintendo, because when the yen is higher, they lose millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And for them to do what they have to do, I don't think it was a smart idea. And I'm happy they did, because real world consequences with how should I say, with Greece in Europe, all the guys who like PlayStation in Europe. Hey, if Greece goes back to the drachma, you guys are fucked.
Mm-hmm.
You
That's
guys are
gonna
messed
screw up their
up.
economy even more.
Yeah, because they need the euro, and that's gonna screw the economy. Right now, the port strike is messed up because these guys, the crane operators, are basically greedy bastards. They
Yeah.
want more. They want the strike is to boil it down. The strike is about vacation, holiday pay that they didn't get for Thanksgiving and Christmas. But let me put this out: the starting price for that job, the starting salary for that job is $180,000. Most of those
Jeez.
guys are making five, six, up to, and some are making $900,000 a year with
Working
benefits, yeah, I know, with benefits and with benefits and Medicare and not Medicare, with healthcare and everything, and because they wanted extra bonus, they wanted a time and a half pay rate for Christmas and Thanksgiving. I'm sorry, f you. I'm sorry. You that
that's
greedy?
nuts. That's pretty greedy, like shit.
That's greedy. So that's what's holding back. That's what the strike was all about. But all that stuff, and then it didn't hurt Nintendo only. It hurt it stopped 1% of the trading between Japan and U.S. It hurt Apple. It hurt Sony. It hurt Microsoft. That thing hurt everybody. It didn't just hurt just Nintendo.
Yeah.
That's the thing a lot of people keep on forgetting about things about outside gaming. But maybe this year they'll drop the price. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, things have gotten cheaper, as you guys said in your podcast.
The parts
gamepad
have
has
gone
dropped down
down
the price.
'cause now they're actually making money on the console, whereas last year they were not. So there's clearly
Well, they were making money off the console from since Mario Kart.
Yeah,
From May.
from
Which
May.
is good for
I'm talking
them.
about like when it first launched. They weren't actually making money because the
Oh,
parts.
yeah.
were
It was a loss. It was the first. Yeah, as you know,
Yeah,
the
they're
first
selling at a
console
loss. They're no longer selling at a loss. So like for them,
Yeah.
they could actually do a price drop now. Yes, maybe they'll be selling at a loss again, but it's pretty
Well, they
much
ain't gonna. That's what I'm
new.
thinking.
Sorry, yeah.
No, I was saying they're not gonna do that. I can tell you right now, they're not gonna go back to a loss.
Yeah, I
They're gonna
know.
sell. They're gonna drop. They could drop it, but they're not gonna sell it to drop it to a loss again because
Like I think I
everybody's
consider
always
the
talking
sweet
about.
spot is clear. It's like 249. Cause they gotta keep that $100 gap from the Xbox. Especially if
But
Microsoft's
the
planning on
Xbox
keeping
is.
the Xbox at because it looks like they're gonna keep it at 349.
Yeah, but the Xbox is losing $100.
So
I wouldn't do
Microsoft,
that.
you think they care? Like if your
Well,
competition's
the
dropping
shareholders care.
$100,
No,
yeah, well,
yeah, but the shareholders care because they don't want They don't want an Xbox console. They don't.
yeah, I know they don't, yeah.
They don't. Right now, shoot, you talk and I want to put a phrase to a lot of people out there who talk about, man, if I own these companies, you think Phil Spencer and Iwata run Nintendo and Microsoft or Jack Tran when he used to be when you're a publicly traded
They're
company?
just figureheads.
You don't run Jack.
Yeah.
You
Like it's
you don't
already
run
been
Jack
shown that
because-
Nintendo has like this council of elders that decides everything, and even one of them has veto power over an idea.
Yeah. Well, you know why, and you know why Yamamuchi set this up before he passed away. You know why he hired Iwata? Why he made Iwata the CEO?
Why?
He made Iwata CEO because he wanted the top three executives for Nintendo are Iwata, Shigeru Miyamoto, and Takada. Those guys, and all three of them are game designers.
Mm-hmm.
They know when a game is good. He
Yeah.
didn't just want it to be a business deal person. That's why I hate saying this guy's name because he's a pain in the butt. Michael Proctor don't understand, like, oh, he's not a business guy. Of course, Iwata's not a business guy. He's a designer. He knows
Yeah.
quality. So
That's
so
what he does. He's a
those
quality guy.
yeah, so those three guys are the top branch of Nintendo Japan, and they balance out like you said the shareholder elders.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm gonna tell you, I told this to Katie. I told this to Katie like I think about a month ago, and she was like, "Oh, this is gonna be sad," because those guys are getting up in age. If we can't find somebody who's that kind of quality of game design to fill in their spot, that would start the end of Nintendo.
Pretty much, because all they have essentially is the quality of their games. That's the only reason people go back to them. And if their
Yeah.
quality started to suffer, everyone would abandon them.
Yep. And those three guys, like I said, Shigeru Miyamoto is 66, Iwata is 54, 55, something like that. Takeda's in his 60s as well. So yeah.
Well, we see
I'm not.
they're working on new talent because they got those EAD teams.
Oh yeah, they have increased EAD teams
So they're pretty
to.
much the successors. They're the future of Nintendo.
Yeah, but they're not. They are the accessors, but they're not up into develop. I'm not sure say develop management yet.
Yeah,
They
not
have not
yet.
gone up to where.
That'll
So
happen over
like
time.
I hope so. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know fully about the whole thing, but like you said, Alex, yeah, they're gonna get to that point. You were like, yeah, okay, good. I hope so. I hope so. But it's getting like let me. I want to finish this part right here since we're talking about third parties, and like I said, you brought up the whole thing, and I had a conversation with Dr. Feelgood, with Ken about this. Oh, what up, Double M? I don't know if you can hear me too. Double M, you there?
It's like a delay or something.
Well, he's in London, so hell. I mean, he's England. He's over in England, so yeah. Nintendo. I want to bring up the part that you said, Alex. If he hears us, he'll jump in. About the Nintendo, the badass elephant.
Tembo, yeah.
Now, my point to that is, it is missing the Wii U for now. I'm not saying it's not gonna come to the Wii U or
Yeah, I think it'll come eventually. It's just bizarre that it's not there at launch.
Well, the reason why they did this is, I mean, James Turner, who's the developer for developer for this game,
Yeah.
he's the first Westerner to be included into Game Freak.
Okay.
So he get over there. He has he got a Western mentality. He's the one who came up with the one like my sister hates that. He's like, you came up with the ice cream Pokemon, man. I'll bitch slap you. With that stupid Pokemon. But
It is a dumb Pokemon.
yeah, Katie is the Pokemon freak. If anybody wants to talk about Pokemon, that's my sister knows the ins and outs about that.
I gave up after Mew. For me, it's always 151.
I'm with you. I think I gave up. I gave up after Gold, Silver, and
I
Gold.
think Gold or Silver. Yeah, Gold Silver was the last generation of Pokemon I played.
Yeah, that's what I tapped out. I mean, and again, I grew out of it, but I don't hate it because my sister's enjoying it.
Yeah, they're good games. It's just like, I don't know. I can't get it. There's just too many Pokemon now. I won't be able to catch up anymore.
No, I understand, and it's cool, but the Game Freak, but to say what of course, Sega is the publisher of this game.
Yeah.
Right now, Sega is cash strapped.
Very much so. Yes.
And I'll just repeat basically the conversation I had with Dr. Feelgood, which is the biggest pull to do right now is the pull they're doing right now, which is Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. They're not developing in the Unity engine, because if they did, then you could put it over to the Wii U.
Easier. Yeah.
Yeah, but they are not doing it that way. They did it from scratch. Game Freak's doing it from scratch from that setup. So, because those systems have the x86 architect system and the Wii U has the ARM system, it's not easy to port. To port from those
Yeah, they
two
pretty much
consoles,
have to work from scratch and put it over, which is the Wii U's biggest problem at this point.
Yeah, the Wii, because I'm gonna put this in. Like I said, I got videos coming out. Hopefully, people check them out. But the cheapest console to develop for is the Wii U.
Yes.
By now between the three consoles.
Yeah.
But the most expensive to port to is the Wii U from those consoles, because it's a different system. You have to optimize and everything. And even though PlayStation 4, Xbox is the same architect system, they still need to, when you're porting games, you still need to you still need to optimize for the system, as we learned with Tetris.
Different.
Well, as we learned with the Ultimate Tetris last year.
Tetris.
Ultimate Tetris last.
Hey, I want to say something real quick. The best way to a lot of people try to say, oh, the Wii U is when the game's not ported to Wii U, they try to say because it's not, the Wii's not powerful enough and all this stuff. or when the game's bad on the Wii U, it's not, they didn't make it that, if they didn't spend the time to make it a good quality game or without glitches and stuff. And then all I say is bring up the Tetris game for PS4. Say,
And then it's all about optimizing.
Then I say, well, is the PS4 not powerful enough to handle Tetris? And that ends the conversation right there. Then because people don't think, well, they know it, but they don't like to admit it when a game is ported to Wii U and it's not good. Then somehow it's the Wii U's not powerful enough. But then when it's the other way around, you let them know, or not let them know, but you bring it up and then they shut up and they go away.
You know what's funny?
I use that every time.
I got you. You know what's funny? The thing that killed me is again, you got, like Alex said, you have to be optimized because Bayonetta 1 was not optimized for the PlayStation 3.
Yeah, it was not. It ran like shit.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
That was like Platinum's greatest mistake. They didn't put the time in, and then they going forward. They didn't.
No, it wasn't Platinum. It wasn't Platinum. It was not Platinum. Sega did their own team and ported it over.
Was that why it was
Hideki in there?
Oh, that's unfortunate. I was under the impression that Platinum did it, and they just weren't familiar with the cell processor.
Sega created, just like how we have Tantalus or whatever, this everybody want to know what this. Yeah, they have Sega at that time had their own team, and they used that to do the port. So that answers, if you didn't know the answer to that question, there you go.
Well, that sucks, because Bayonetta's an awesome game. It's too bad they got a bad version of it.
Well, hey, I'm happy the Wii U got a good version of it.
The best version of it.
Yep. But I'm just saying what happened is, and there's many games that just got ported horrible because the same game we talked about, Rayman Rabbids, was optimized for the Wii. It came over to Xbox 360 and PlayStation. Didn't sell well because you couldn't do the motion controls for those consoles. It sucked. No More Heroes 1 and 2. Here's the next developer. Suda51 hated that Ubisoft ported it over. No More Paradise. He didn't like it.
Oh yeah.
Actually, the port for No More Heroes to PS3 was actually a terrible port.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, believe it or not, the Wii U version ran at close to 60 frames because there were dips in the game, and the PS3 version was cut down to 30 frames. Another game that was ported from the Wii U to the PS3 and the Xbox 360 that ran worse and had less features in it was GoldenEye.
Yep.
The GoldenEye on the Wii actually ran a lot better than the one on the PS3 and Xbox 360.
And you know what's also with the GoldenEye? The AI was much tougher on the Wii version.
Yeah, the difficulty was toned down on the PS3 and the 360 version, which made me wonder, to myself, you got all these gamers that talk about hardcore gaming and stuff like that is on that, but then why are you bringing out a game, if that's where all the hardcore gamers are, so why is it that a game that is ported from the Wii to that system is actually toned down in difficulty to a console that was supposedly made for casual gamers?
Wait. Which game was that did that?
GoldenEye.
GoldenEye 007. Yeah.
Yeah, it was toned. The PS3 and 360 version had their difficulty toned down.
Yeah,
which makes you wonder, which makes you wonder if Wii is meant to be the casual console, and PS3 and 360 is meant to be like the hardcore machine where all the hardcore gamers are. Why are you toning down the difficulty for the systems which are supposedly meant to be where the quote unquote real hardcore gamers are?
Well,
it just goes to show you the mentality. It just goes to show you the mentality of gamers that they were bringing out the game for.
Yeah,
now I got two. Now I got more ammo. Thanks for letting that be known.
Yeah. Check this out. Right to what Double M says, there are videos about this, and I've played them. When you play 007 and you have your little the P97 shooter, little handgun, the PP7.
Yeah, his regular gun. Yeah.
Your regular gun. When you go in the game and when you're playing like Agent or something like that, which is the medium part, when you're playing that, the AI
is the hardest one.
No, they did it on the normal too. I'm talking about when the AI would see you with your regular handgun and they were brazen. They didn't care. But when you kill somebody and you pick it up like a machine gun or a assault rifle, those guys scattered. And they ducked and they did all kind of crazy stuff. But the Xbox 360 version of PlayStation didn't do that. They just stand right there.
Because they know that the audience on those consoles is basically the audience that likes to. They're what I call the run and gun audience. You know, they like the Call of Duty style of gameplay where you just, you know, you shoot, you move on, you shoot, you move on, you shoot, you move on. Whereas GoldenEye was really and truly meant to be a game about stealth.
Oh man, I basically that's how I played the game. I played it stealth. I never played a run and gun because it was just
I tried to do the stealth stuff, and as soon as the alarm went off, I just thought, fuck it, let me just get the machine gun and kill all these bastards.
Nah, I like the hacking. I played the whole game on 007, the old style, and beat it by doing doing it the stealth way because it just felt different in all these shooters that we all getting all up right now.
Yeah.
But my point is, like I was saying, is there are games that was optimized for the Wii that when got ported over to the other consoles did not work either, as Double M just said. And
I want to say something.
People forgetting that.
Make it even more. It seems like when games are usually like, let's say like a game like I think it's for the longest, like games that originally start on Nintendo, like exclusive, and then like further iterations of the game get ported or get sent to other consoles, and they're worse. Like for instance, like Perfect Dark, and then Perfect Dark 2.
Well, they ain't perfect. They ain't no 2.
Zero, whatever they called it, Zero, whatever they called it.
Perfect Dark Zero effort.
Yeah, you got games like Turok. You know, they try to bring that to, you know, the other platforms later on.
Yeah,
you know,
they went from Turok to terrible.
So it seems like to me when Nintendo has these games, and then for some reason when they try to make them for other systems like Part 2s or for other systems, they're just horrible.
Because you know what it is? Whenever exclusives are made for a Nintendo system, there's always someone from Nintendo that's supervising the project.
Over them. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have to keep the quality in check.
Well, it also depends on what Double M says is right. Some games in the past they didn't because they know who the developer was. Like when Shinji Mikami did Resident Evil 4, they know he's gonna bring the color.
Yeah, they're not gonna bother him.
To the GameCube. They didn't have no overhead over him. And also the same thing for Yoshio Saito when he did Umbrella Chronicles and Darksiders. Nobody was over him like Nintendo was, because they know they're gonna bring good games.
Well, yeah, I mean, like an example is when you look at the difference in Sonic Lost World and Sonic Boom. Sonic Lost World was actually overseen by Nintendo, hence why it runs so well. Whereas Sonic Boom wasn't overseen by really anyone apart from obviously like the people that were developing it and stuff. And well, we all know what happened to that game.
Yeah, I wonder why Nintendo didn't even bother checking in on that game.
Maybe they wanted to.
If they had even bothered checking once, they would have just probably canceled that game.
But it's unfortunate because Sonic Boom, there was a massive opportunity for Sonic Boom to come back as the
amazing.
It could have been the next open world platform. You know, like before when you used to have things like Spyro and
Ratchet and Clank or something.
Yeah, because you know you used to have games like Ratchet and Clank and Spyro and stuff like that, the open world platformers.
Yeah, that shit is gone.
And a lot of people
and I thought that's what was.
A lot of people wanted it.
That's what they teased it as when they first showed it.
I mean, even the graphics engine that they showed off, it took a disgustingly huge downgrade when they.
Oh yeah, massive downgrade.
Yeah, well, you check this out, Double M and Alex. What happened was, you're right. Nintendo didn't oversee it. They didn't oversee it, but they checked in on it. The problem was when they checked in on it and they saw that it was not ready. Because one thing Nintendo, like I said, those 3 guys, like I told you about, Alex, the top 3. When they see something, one thing Nintendo does that many games don't do no more, except for like indie guys or like a good studio like Naughty Dog itself. When they see it's gonna be crap, they would cancel it or they would push it back.
Yeah.
And when they saw that game was crap, that's when the red button guys started to walk. When they said, because the developers were asking for more time, because remember the publishers Sega wanted that game to be out the same time as the cartoon.
Season.
Yeah. No, for the cartoon. it was simultaneous. The cartoon
Oh
was
yeah,
right
they
there.
wanted everything at the same time. Yeah.
Bingo for mass saturation. That's what they wanted to do. And since they couldn't push it back, that's why the guys from Red Button left. They were like, no.
Because when I first saw Sonic Boom, the first trailer, I was hyped. I was extremely hyped, and then after a while, that hype just died.
My hype died the first time they actually showed gameplay. Then I was like, oh, this is garbage.
Yeah. And like I said, it's unfortunate because it had the potential to be the next open world platformer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they had the time, which they didn't.
But you see, that's the thing that you got to listen. I should say, watch other developers, because the three thing developers that I've worked with, I was asked for, and one of them is a half truth. The other two are basically truth. The one thing they ask for, of course, is money, which that's why they are publishers.
Mm-hmm.
They always gonna ask for money because they want the thing. Next one is time, and the half truth is power. But that's the half truth because there's so many games, and like Hideki Kamiya, Shinji, again, a bunch of people. The two examples I could come up with, that when you look at the game and you saw the limits of the console, you work around it and you refigure how you're going to do the game. Because remember, Shigeru Miyamoto, when he made Mario Jumpman at the time, he couldn't get the hair to look right, and he couldn't show a face. So what he did, he put a black bar to show the nose and a red hat, a pixelated hat to show that Mario had a hat, and that sticks from now on. Mm-hmm. And then Gunpei Yokoi, when he did Metroid, they couldn't get the animation working well for Samus to crawl. So
they made the morph ball.
Make the morph ball, and no game has ever copied the morph ball ever again, because that's the only person that used it well. So that's what a half truth is. Most developers be like, yeah, those who want the power, yeah, but they're not all of them like that. Because like, even Mega Man,
and the thing is, the morph, and the thing is, there's 6 other iterations of the morph ball as well that have been done in the Metroid game. In Metroid Prime Hunters, every hunter had its own alternate form.
Yep. But there's no other game out there that could make the smooth transition and everything just like that game did.
And that was running on a console barely more powerful than the N64.
True.
And it was using a modified version of Unreal Engine 2. So
well,
that's why I laugh at Epic when they make certain claims, because I laugh at them. But I think to myself that Nintendo Retro Studios took your engine, one of your older engines, Unreal Engine 2, and this was at a time where a PC gaming engine running on a console was pretty much unheard of. They took the Unreal Engine 2, modified it to run on the GameCube for 2 games, one which saw a substantial graphical improvement over the previous one. Then obviously they updated it even more for the Wii version. Then another studio, before Metroid Prime 3, another studio took the Prime engine and scaled it down to run on the DS. And considering it's a console barely more powerful than the N64, it did quite good. It still held its own.
Yep. Well, that's the point I was saying. But that's what I'm trying to say. That every developer was asking for time, and because the big publishers, they are publicly traded, they're shareholders. They have to get their money by the end of the year. They always rush. They set dates, and people can't meet the dates. That's why Assassin's Creed was garbage, because of the whole link. And same thing with not Mass Effect, Halo Master Chief Collection. They rushed it. They rushed it. I give Nintendo 100%. I should say that what Sakurai did with Smash Brothers. They told you that it's not gonna make it. These parts are out of it. Here you go. This is a core game, and we'll add the stuff later on.
Well, to me, the power excuse is a bit of a hoax, because there's all the consoles. In the 6th generation, we hit a wall where, not necessarily saying that graphics couldn't get better, but we hit a wall where certain techniques, certain tricks and stuff like that could be done in games, like things like global illumination and water reflection and refraction, and shadowing and
Shaders.
stuff like that, shaders and all those kind of things.
Mhm.
They were possible. They were all possible on 6th generation consoles. GameCube is a big testament to this. And
Well, yeah.
none of these consoles were, well, even the PS2, because there's this presentation. Called I think it's called Speaker's Presentation, where it's talking about the power of the 6th generation consoles. It turns out even the PS2 was only ever pushed to 56% of its power. The GameCube never saw beyond 50% of its power, and I'm assuming probably the same for the Xbox as well. So we never got the full extent out of the 6th generation consoles. Now we move on to the 7th, but somehow Somehow the 7th generation console needed to be substantially more powerful than them. So that's one thing that, and also people complain about even going to the Wii, because a lot of people think these problems only started in the 8th generation. These things have been going on since the 7th generation. A lot of engine, like for instance, games like BioShock and stuff like that, they used because none of the 7th generation consoles were even the PS3 and Xbox 360, they were only ever really able to use 20% of Unreal Engine 3. In fact, most of the time it wasn't even Unreal Engine 3, it was 2.5. And the first game to run on Unreal Engine 2.5 was actually on the Wii, which was Red Steel. Red Steel uses the same engine as BioShock on the 360, PC, and PS3. Another thing as well is that a lot of the engines that were used, for like Street Fighter and a lot of the new engines that were used for Street Fighter, Tekken, Dead or Alive, they were all ported to the 3DS just fine, despite the fact that the 3DS is actually less powerful than the Wii.
Yeah.
So
Well, the thing, but what you just said right there, the one thing that I still say, what you said is right. Here's what I'm saying. It needs time, and that's what publishers don't give the developers.
it's not even
When you
just
have the time, when you have the time to develop the game to optimize for the system, you get great ports, you get great things. But when you don't do that,
time is important, but it's not even just time. A lot of it is just to do with effort. There's not enough programmers in the industry that are willing to put in the effort to actually program these games properly, and that's what a lot of it comes down to. Because if we had developers which were more willing to properly utilize these systems, then we would have, even in the 6th generation, we would have games that look considerably better than the ones we even saw. I mean, I'm not saying that developers didn't put in time and effort, because it's clear by some looking at a lot of these games that in fact, I think more time and effort was put into games in the 6th generation than the 7th and 8th generation. But
yeah.
a lot of it came down to the fact that, over time, a lot of the programmers got lazy, shareholders started asking for more, programmers and developers got lazy, shareholders and publishers had all these demands and stuff like that. That's why you get a lot of these games where, even though they may say quote new IP, a lot of it is just basically the same rehash concept over and over again. Like, every game these days is becoming a rehash Call of Duty or Gears of War concept.
Well, that's what the modern gamers want today. That's what they're asking for. The casuals, or what do we want to call them? Hey, let's get a next shooter.
I mean, even Uncharted rips off of Tomb Raider, Gears of War. It rips off a number of franchises. I'm not saying Uncharted is a bad game by any means, but it rips off a lot of stuff.
Yeah, nothing wrong, but like I said, nothing's wrong with that kind of stuff. No. Because those games, like I said, the reason I said time, because as I would think everybody here has seen this, I should say the story when Sakurai said that he had hours. I mean, I've been in Nintendo studios. I've been in which studios? I've been Platinum. Was it Yeah, it was Platinum at the time, because when we did Mad World. When you see the crunch time, when you come for the last 4 months of those games, and these developers, when you I'm going inside at nighttime, and these guys are like, all your hands clicking of the keyboards, because they're coding so much. In the last 4 or 5 months of the game is crazy, and that's why I said it. Sometimes you need more time, because I've seen, like I said, that's why, again, Double M, I just sub to you and everything too, because I like you, Alex, everybody else. When I could talk to rational people, I'll sub to you guys, because you guys know what you're like. Okay, I don't know. It's a big person to say I don't know. But a lot of gamers out there on these YouTube channels are like it's talking out their ass and they don't say they put out their theories and whatever. And my sister, which is Katie, which is that's what the Katie floor is all about. Since I'm in the business, Katie, as I told Alex before, Katie told she's like she does the video part, I do the audio. Since I'm an audio engineer person, that's what my company does, and she just wanted to say, hey, these guys, videos, these people talking about, how about you just make videos and see what happens, and that's what I'm doing right here with that. I mean, I love gaming, whatever, but when I see where people talk about, oh, if I run Nintendo, again, like Alex just said, Iwata and Phil Spencer and all these guys, they don't run the company.
No, they don't.
Shareholders run that company because, again, right now, even like Alex said, like me and Alex were talking about, the shareholders, they want to cut the Xbox division. They don't want it. They do not want it. The last quarter that they made 0.05. No, sorry, I keep on getting it wrong. 0.5 profit margin. Nothing. They lose $100 off of each Xbox One off the top. No matter how much the price you bring it now, so it's simple math, people. If no matter how much it is, it still times it out. If I made a profit, $10, I'm selling it for $8. No matter how much time you multiply it, that's millions of dollars that's going down the drain.
I always say that the Xbox, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I always say that the Xbox was the product of a person who had too much time and too much money on their hands. Because let's be honest, Microsoft didn't need to make the Xbox division. They could have literally just run all their games through PC. And even if they were to die, this is what's going to happen if Microsoft dies. This is what's going to happen. It's going to be like, okay, boys, we had a good... Well, Xbox, sorry, not Microsoft. Yeah. They're going to just be like, okay, boys, we had a good run. Time to pack it up. Let's get this all done. Any of our games that are still selling well, port them over to Steam, blah, 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 because we still make money from them. That's why a lot of these PC gamers, I don't understand them when they diss Microsoft all the time. And I'm thinking to myself, you do realize you're gaming on PC. You're basically paying. Microsoft is still making money from you, because Steam has to pay Microsoft to license. Steam has to pay Microsoft licensing fees to run their software on Windows. And every game developer that develops on PC, they have to pay a licensing fee to Microsoft as well to develop their games on their OS. So if Microsoft wanted to cut the Xbox, Microsoft could cut the Xbox division and still develop their games and just run them on PC. And when you look at the trend of some of the things that what's happening to some of the Xbox One games, how some of them are even being ported to PC now, you can see that trend happening where, Microsoft is more or less, in terms of the Xbox division, they're more or less preparing for the worst. If they lose their Xbox division, they know they still have the PC to back them up.
Yep. Well, like I said, right now, that's why they're going app-based. That's why Windows 10 has the Microsoft app, Xbox app is going to be in it. I mean, telling the truth, I said, because I've said before, hey, I'm not gonna buy Xbox One because I have a PC. If I want to play third-party game like Batman, Arkham Knight, I'm gonna play it on PC. But the thing that killed me is I'm like, Microsoft, you sly bastards, you got me to get Xbox when I upgrade to Windows 10. You got me to get Windows Xbox. It's son of a gun. But you know what? It is what it is. But on the PlayStation right now, it's making money.
Let's not talk about Sony.
No. I have basically I have an office over in London. My company has office. I have a branch over in London, and I also have a branch over in Japan. But I have a contract with Sony right now. It's with Sony, and they're making money off of the platform, not on the platform, on the PS4, but not a lot of money compared to Nintendo.
Well, this is a thing because their consoles making profit, but their game sales just aren't the money they put into the development of their games versus the return they get on their games just isn't enough. It's not like Nintendo could make a game that could sell 500,000 and they'll make a bucket load of profit because they know they only spent what they needed to spend in developing the game. If Sony develops a game and they need to sell like 2 million to make some profit off of it because they pump so much money into the production. My theory is that a game should only really and truly a game should be able to be profitable once it passes 1 million at the most.
Nah, I can't say that. I understand where you're coming from.
You know more than me on this, so I'm not going to dispute on that.
No. I'm not saying that. It depends. Like it's what you just said. It depends on what their budget market is.
Mm-hmm.
Like Destiny, they had to go way beyond that because they pumped in about $80 million into the game, and the rest, of course, was advertisement. That's why the 500 million mark is up there because now games are getting over 100.
This is what I mean when I say that. It's just when the reason why I am saying that is because what I'm basically confirming what you're saying in the sense that games shouldn't necessarily need to have this much money invested in them. I mean, you could correct me if I'm wrong on this, but even like Nordic Games, who now own the Darksiders franchise, like THQ pumped 50 million into Darksiders. Nordic Games said that they can make a game equally as good for a fraction of the cost.
Yeah, no, what you just said right there is right because I'm gonna tell you right now, the range is between 50 to 25 million dollars that was developed to make Mario Kart Wii.
You know what?
And that was, huh?
Oh, go ahead. No bad.
No, I was saying, the development range for Mario Kart Wii on the Wii was 15 to 25 million, and the biggest selling game of the 7th generation was that game, over 36 million sold. Bundled on that, the bundle was only about 20%.
Okay, Mario Kart Wii.
Yeah, it made Nintendo over $2 billion. One game made over $2 billion US profit.
It's the highest selling game on a single platform.
Yeah.
Yeah, 34 million or something.
That's not a bundle.
36.
That is
36 now. Wow.
36 million. Yeah, it's still selling to this day. It is still selling to this day.
It's that evergreen goodness, isn't it?
I know, but they made over $2 billion off of that game. The next game behind that was Wii Sports Resort.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's put it in time right now. Let's put it in modern time right now. The NPD numbers just came out, and everybody who make these fanboy wars and everything else. Let's look at this. Majora's Mask, Zelda, one SKU beat out Evolve. That's on 3 different platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy.
How
I'm glad Evolve failed though. That
but
game.
You look at a game. You look at even a game like Wii Fit and Wii Fit Plus. You know, obviously together those games sold a bucket load. I think in the range of like 20-something million.
Yeah.
Now you could tell just by looking at that game that the production values were not that high. So imagine how. So it's not a bad thing to the game, but you could just tell that the production values were not that high. Now imagine the level of profit Nintendo must have made off of that.
Yeah, they made some money. They made some dirt. They made some money off of that. Some blood. That's some blood diamonds right there.
Yeah, I want to put, like I said, since I got you guys say, like I said, I got a bunch of videos out there, and I want to let people know about this because there's a video coming out that I got to talk about the weakness about gaming, the one weakness that every console shares. I'm gonna do a video about that. But what I want to say is this, because everybody's still saying, "Oh, Nintendo needs third parties the Wii U needs third parties to do this. Nintendo needs that, to do a lot of stuff." The profit margin on the Wii U right now, it's not the biggest selling console out there. We know that, but the profit margin for the Wii U is way bigger than Xbox One and PlayStation 4.
Xbox One's profit margin is non-existent.
Well, no, but I'm talking about but you're right. But here's what I'm trying to say,
I get what you're saying. I just wanted to throw that in for last.
Got you. If anybody out there you think I'm telling a lie, go to the investors relationship page of all 3 consoles. Nintendo, go to. I have a video called WTF episode 4. Inside the description, I have all the links to each company, and they got their profit margin, and you can see with your own 2 eyes. But the Wii U has a bigger profit margin than both of them combined because the Wii U, the game console is profitable, the software is profitable, they have the biggest, and people always say, "Oh, they don't have the biggest library." You're wrong. They have the biggest library out of
Actually,
anybody.
you know what? I did like I think like 2 months ago. I didn't. I was gonna make a video on it. I just didn't do it. But I'm still gonna do it. But I counted all the top. I counted, I think, the top 10 games of each system, or the PS4, X1, and Wii, the exclusive games, anyways,
Yeah.
made by
No,
each. Only the exclusive
Well,
games made by Sony, Microsoft, or Nintendo. And
I've
I
got.
added up.
Oh, sorry.
I added up all the sales. Well, I didn't add up all this. I pretty much got like I went to VG charts and the sales and how much each game cost. So
Okay.
I got the average cost of each game when they launched,
hmm
and I did the math and see how much each company made off of their exclusives for each console, at least for this gen console. And the Wii U was like over $25 million. It was ridiculous.
Well,
And
Nintendo. Well,
X1 and PS4 were only like around 8. Nintendo beat them both combined pretty much, and it wasn't even close.
Well, the smart thing that Nintendo's done this generation, because obviously they know that third party ain't really behind them and stuff like that. So the smartest thing they've done is this generation was actually work on developing smaller projects as well. That's why you have small and games that don't take much time to develop. Like for instance, they knew they wasn't going to get Hyrule Warriors is one, but also as well like Zelda Wii U. They knew they wasn't going to get Zelda Wii U out for a while. I knew that from time Anuma said that it's going to take some time. I knew this was going to be like a 2015 thing.
Yeah.
So, because I know Zelda games don't get done overnight. I know that much.
Well,
I mean, Skyward Sword took like 5 years to develop.
Yeah, they don't get overnight because basically once they finish with one Zelda game, they start on the next one. That's how they see it. Evolve. But the thing that I'm trying to say with people, like I said, to say to people about that is, Nintendo console, according to like Taiwan says, their console, their software makes more money than any other console out there. One and two.
That's true.
Not even just any other console, any other developer. Period.
I understand that. What I'm trying to point out, because like I said, developer, yes, but to point out where I'm coming from is Mario Kart 8 in-house development. I bought Mario Kart 8 digital, $60, 100% profit goes straight back to Nintendo. No other console has that. Even Microsoft, because remember, Microsoft has 343 studios, but they're in-house, but they still gotta pay out for them because they own only like a couple shares over 343 studios. They don't own everything.
Right.
So like I said, EAD, Tokyo EAD, those two big, Tokyo EAD and R&D. I'm sorry, R&D. Any games that are developed by those guys. Like I said,
Mario Kart. Tokyo EAD, there's Kyoto EAD as well. I think there's about 3 EAD teams.
There's, if I remember last time I was over there was 2, but you could. You're right. I ain't been over there in a year, so you could be right. Yeah. Yeah, but I know they still have R&D. They're still doing those games like that, and I'm just saying that the biggest pool, Nintendo have the biggest pool to make the games. They might not be the biggest seller, but their profits from their software outblast any other competition. So that's why I don't care. Huh? It's not close. You're right. It's not close.
Like I said, it's not close.
It comes down to the development techniques. They just have much more. They are very Japanese centric when it comes to like developing. For one, when it comes to developing their hardware, they develop their hardware around efficiency. How efficient they develop their hardware around efficiency. Hence why the Wii U's power draw is so small. And then to compensate, and then on top of that, they develop their games based around the hardware they have. They don't try and say, oh, this is not powerful enough, or this is not designed this way, or this is not designed that way, we can't work with it. No, they develop around what they can do on their system. If they hit a limit, they find a way around it. Yeah, and what people don't realize is that's what cuts costs down. Being more efficient.
And that's what when we said before about the whole. When developers say they want more power, it's a half truth. There are some developers that want it, because I will tell the truth. Out of 1886, it needed the power to do what it needed to do visually. It's no ifs, ands about that. We didn't talk about the gameplay. We just talk about the visuals. It did need the power.
Yeah, absolutely. It needed the power for that, because that was their focus.
Yes, but here's the thing that everybody always, people always talk about. It gets me kind of like, what the hell are you talking about? Mario Kart 8 because they went with an art style direction. What more power? What would the PS4 do to Mario Kart 8? Nothing more because it's the art style that make it pop.
I mean, even some of the games on the GameCube still look good to this day. And
Metroid
again,
Prime.
it comes down to art. Metroid Prime looks brilliant. I mean, even Twilight Princesses, which is probably one of the which is probably in terms of like more modern Zelda games, it's probably one of the ones that's probably aged the worst out of all of them.
Oh,
but
yeah.
despite that, because I've been playing Twilight Princess a lot of recently. Despite that, oh yes, tell me about it. It was one of my favorites, but yeah. Despite that, despite the fact that it's using a more realistic art style, which we all know that realistic art styles don't really age as well as more like animated type art styles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It still holds up very well, whereas a lot of realistic games, even on the PS3 and 360, look terrible now.
Yep. And you know, I want to put this out for you guys and other people out there who needs this too, because this is one fact I have to put out there. Because every time I say this, people because they talk about the bayonet and everything. When you look at VG charts, which we all know is an estimate, when you look at VG charts, also add 20% towards it if you want to get a better estimate of the sales. Because Reggie has said it, Iwata has said it. It's the adoption rate for digital downloads is 20%. So when people was talking about I know Hyrule was already past 1 million before people said it, because I know it was 20%. You added 20% to the number of VG charts, you got a better estimate. And then of course the guy, and I gotta give it to
and they make more profit off their digital sales than they do off their physical.
Yeah, and that's why that's why we was talking about. Like I said, when I bought Mario Kart 8, $60, 100% of the profit goes straight back to Nintendo.
Because they don't have to pay retailers to put it out. They don't have to pay for packaging.
The disking.
Exactly.
Yep,
There's a lot of overheads.
A lot of savings there. Which is like that part's madness to me. That if they wanted to go the whole digital route, that they put such a small hard drive in the console.
No, that was a smart route. That was a smart
move.
Because this is a smart move because here's the thing. On my Wii U right now, I have a 2 terabyte hard drive.
Me too. I bought a Seagate one.
Yeah, and how much it cost you? Just for
I got it on clearance. So I got lucky. I got it for $60.
And I got mine. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, go on.
No, I bought, but when the Wii U came out, I bought mine. I bought me a Toshiba, and it was a 2 terabyte, and I bought mine for $50.
Well, my situation is even better because basically what it is, my cousin had an old hard drive and it completely shut down. It was completely, like, the actual hard drive shut down. But obviously, you know, an external hard drive is nothing more than an internal hard drive in a casing with a little chipboard that that gives it connectivity, that gives it external connectivity. And basically what happened was I'd been using that as a case to hold, because I had a 250 gigabyte hard drive which still had information on it that I had, so I was just basically using it as a case for that stuff. And I had another 500 gigabyte because when I built my mum's computer, the hard drive that I put in there, I put a 500 gigabyte hard drive, and it was giving some minor issues. And obviously, you know, with a hard drive, in terms of minor issues, it has a much more prominent impact when it's running a constant OS than if it's being used compared to when it's just being used for data transfer. So basically, what I did, I took that 500 gigabyte hard drive and I basically put it in the case, and that's basically my Wii U external hard drive. And considering that most games on the Wii U are developed to take up as minimal amount of space as possible. For instance, like a game that looks as good as Mario Kart 8 only takes up about less than 5 gigs. So 500 gigabyte hard drive on a Wii, whereas on a PS4 and Xbox 360, which require mandatory installs and their games take up from 30 to 50 gigs, you know, 500 gigabyte, and not on that all the memory that's taken up for the OS, 500 gigs is nothing. 500 gigs will do you about maybe 6, 7, 8 games if you're lucky. For the Wii U, 500 gigabytes is like having flipping and almost like having unlimited storage.
Okay, so can that you're gonna go on?
I mean, even the 32 gigabytes in the Wii U at the moment. Before I had to start using an external hard drive, I was able to store a considerable amount of games. I mean, most of them were indie games, but I even had games like Monster Hunter. I had Monster Hunter 3 on there, which takes up about 6 gigabytes, and I had a bunch of other games, some of them taking up 4 gigabytes and stuff like that. And it was only it took more than a year of me having my Wii U to actually start having to use an external hard drive.
Nah, I kind of use mine from the get-go, but to what I'll answer some too. Where Alex just said right there, why they didn't put it in the system is because when everybody here knows computers.
Mm-hmm.
Hard drive is going to drop in price. Why would I put that cost towards the to the consumer?
I'll take it even a step further beyond cost. I'll take it even down to technicality. The larger hard drive you use, the slower your system's gonna run. The more cycles the hard drive has to run, then the more it's gonna bottleneck your overall system. To go with a small internal flash memory, knowing that your games aren't going to take up much space anyway, and knowing that you've got the option to put an external hard drive in there, it's not only more cost effective for Nintendo, but it's not only more cost effective for Nintendo, and it not only gives the users more cost effective freedom, but it also allows the system to perform more efficiently as well.
Yeah. But Double M Sim is right, and like I said, going to finish up what Alex was saying when he said why they didn't put it in, like you said, Alex, you paid $50, you paid $60 for your you said 2 terabytes?
Yeah.
2 terabytes. Okay, so if they put in 500 gigabytes at the time when the Wii U came out, you think you'd have paid $500 for the Wii U?
Would I have spent $500 for a Wii U?
Yeah. No.
No.
I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't.
No.
I bought mine for $200 because I got it on sale.
Well, no, that's cool, but I'm just saying that the normal consumers would not do that. I bought my Wii U from the get-go, but that's my point. Is a lot of people keep on skipping over that point right there, and the next thing why they do why the other consoles did the hard drive, as Double M point out there, because of the updates. Remember, you don't need an update to play your games on the Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
You
don't need to install your games either.
No, I mean it has to update everything.
For the most part, I buy my games on disc. I just usually buy indie titles on hard drive.
I understand. The only reason I did is what I just said right there. Like I buy because I want to give Nintendo more of the whatever, and also to a next point I think a lot of people keep on forgetting. Because I've seen Terminator Juice and those guys talk on Bear Hug, and I'll talk about the whole digital and the digital and hard copy. You do not. The reason that the prices are the same and they would never drop it unless they have a good digital base is because you would piss off Walmart and all the EB games and all the stuff. Because if you drop the price for them, you have to drop the price for the physical copy. You have to.
It's not even. But the thing is, people complain about the retail price on Nintendo's consoles being the same as the retail stores. But the one thing I like about Nintendo will never push their price above RRP. Whereas, if you actually look at some digital content some digital versions of games on the PS4 and the Xbox One, they actually cost more than the physical retail version.
Yeah, in some cases,
doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, but remember, but going off of what I just said, 20%. So that means 80% of the game still goes to retail. So you can't.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna piss off the retailers. They demand. So that's why right now.
The thing is, though, when you go to the retail stores, who has the least amount of shelf space? It's Nintendo, especially when it comes to the Wii U.
Well, the same thing with Amiibo and the same thing with the shelf space. Nintendo has to pay Walmart those stocking fees.
And that's what it comes down to. Sony and Microsoft are paying out the arse to make sure that store is basically covered.
Center. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why when you go to the store, you see Disney Infinity so damn big because they got the money.
Oh, it's crazy. The Best Buy, there's like an entire row of just Disney Infinity, and then there's like a tiny little Amiibo section.
Yeah. What is you got a question? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, it's like a question instinct. Well, you guys think that some of these third parties, when they have all these DLCs, crazy DLC at that, like like that's not Destiny, but well, Destiny 2, but Evolve and stuff like that. Mainly Evolve, especially Evolve.
Evolve's the
I
worst.
think because of the advertisements, how much it costs for all the advertisers they be doing, that to make up for it, they want they want to charge all these extra money, for the DLC to make up for the advertisements as well, because as well they're trying to get more money as well on top of that. But they want to sell more units, so they do all this advertising and the hyping of the game, so to cover up the cost of the advertisements, they want to, extra charge for DLC and all this other stuff. I think I think it's sort of like a cycle.
It's kind of a cycle. You're kind of half right with that. The reason why I said that because as me and Alex, when we first started this podcast, it's half true. Some publishers do that, but in majority of cases, no. Once the developers give the game, and like I said, I've seen this because I worked on Need for Speed Carbon and FIFA World Cup 2006. Once the developers get the game and they give it to the publishers, which is EA, as I said, they ask, hey, okay, what parts are significant to the game? What's the core of the game? They already done start paywalling from the get-go.
Yeah.
Ain't got nothing to do with advertising. In most cases, they get it from the get-go. They just start.
They want to cut out the extra stuff and sell it separately to make more.
Yeah, and that's why, as Time Out and Shepard and anybody whoever see when I do comments on anybody's videos and you guys' videos, I always say publishers and developers, I break them separately because many times the developers work their ass off to get some of these stuff what it is, and the publishers is just like, can you tell it?
And some of them work in some horrible conditions, don't they? I mean, I remember that report that was done out from one of the developers.
Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Ubisoft. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it is. They work on some. They work on how to develop. When I worked for Ubisoft, they it wasn't that bad. I ain't gonna have to say that. When Montreal, Ubisoft Montreal and Canada, it wasn't that bad. It's just like I was talking about with the whole crunch time. That's chaotic. It's just when you walk into a room and you see 50 people just hitting the keyboard like I said, like a typewriter, it will drive you insane. All you hear is click with the mouse, click with the keyboard, click with the mouse, click with the keyboard. It will drive you insane. Yeah.
So what is it? Something like this.
Bingo. Just multiply that by 50 or 100. It's crazy. But the thing I'm telling you is that what I'm telling you is that once the product is done, yes, like Alex, me and Alex started out saying, they lock the stuff automatically. They just forgot because EA, here again, EA made $900 million last year straight microtransaction and DLC.
That is disgusting.
Wow, that's great. That's just horrible.
Straight, nothing else. Just softwares, whatever. Straight microtransaction and DLC.
Yeah.
And you know what? Shareholders see that and they were like, Need for Speed Mobile. Yeah, Need for Speed Mobile's coming out. You gotta pay microtransactions to get gas.
Pay for gasoline. Yeah.
Capcom.
And from that respect, I understand why they do it because that's a lot of money. They're not gonna turn that down.
Soon you're not gonna be able to get past the start screen without paying a microtransaction.
Oh, you bought $60? That's actually just to get to the title screen. Now you gotta pay $5 to start the game. Actually.
Insert credit card details.
You'll probably get to the point where you can't even start the game unless you enter your credit card information.
Yeah, insert credit card details and press A or X or whatever.
Otherwise, go sell your game.
I know, right? Check this out because, like I said, me and Alex started this podcast. The next video I'm putting up is about modern gaming because I have to ask this question because like I told Alex, there's a video called The Escapists, and they have Zero Production with the guy Yahtzee. He was talking about Evolve, and you in the comment section, you see people are talking about, oh, it's just skins, it's just cosmetics. I'm like, wait a minute, Capcom. Let's go back. All of us are old enough to know. Back in the day, when Capcom came, and they're the poster boy for this thing. When Capcom back in the 90s, when you wanted to play your Ryu, different colors, whatever, all you do was have to press a button, and you got a different Geek color, or a different color with like Blanc or Zangief. All coded in the game. Let's go to Capcom vs SNK. They gave also Street Fighter vs Tekken. They gave you the option to make any color character you want for free. But now in Street Fighter 4, we gotta buy. Oh, I want a different costume for Ryu. $3. What? Different costume for Blanca, $3. They start hitting that stuff.
And maybe
That's
I don't
crazy.
know, but some people got so used to it they want to do it, and they like okay out. And some people it's like an addiction for some people. They used to it and they like doing it, so they'll dish the money out because they like doing it. Hey.
Like Red Knight says, cheeks spread wide open.
Hey, I've got a question to ask you. N-duo. Because this is basically from my own knowledge of business, but you can correct me if I'm wrong.
No problem.
Because I hear a lot of companies complaining about when they sell a game on a Nintendo system, how the sales didn't make it, loss of profit and stuff like that. And I'm not saying it's necessarily true, but to me, it seems like it's a bit fabricated because they say that they only sold this many copies, but from what I know, if you know your install base is only so much, then you put it like this: you're not going to put out 10 million copies of a game on a console that has only an install base of 5 million. So I just want you to kind of clarify if a lot of these if many of these companies are fabricating their loss of profit from certain games and stuff like that. If they know that there's only a certain install base on this console and that they don't need to be producing so many copies of the game if they only know the install base is X amount or whatever.
Yeah, okay. That again, this is one of those answers. That one of those questions. It has a half truth, and me and Alex was talking about that when you jumped in, which is the Wii U is the cheapest console to develop for.
Mm-hmm.
No ifs, ands about that. Now, but if you porting from PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, is the most expensive. When you port from that, is a different expensive. So the publishers now, again, it's a publisher thing. Developers will ask for more time to make the game, optimized for the Wii U, but the publishers don't want to give them that time. So they think about, hey, so when you come and say, hey, I want more money to develop for this system, how about you just copy and paste? We can't copy and paste because they're not using the same architect as the other two consoles. Well, then they're like, well, you know what? How much money we gotta put in? You might gotta put in about $10 more million. I'll just give you a for instant figure. They'll be like, it's not worth it. The publishers will say it's not worth it. It's not the developer. It's not worth it. And that's where, like I say, me and Alex were talking about the whole Tendo, the badass elephant. Sorry, the Tendo, the badass elephant. Sega is cash strapped. They're gonna put it to the biggest pool. The PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and the PC. But the game is not developed.
The biggest pool may not be their biggest benefit.
Huh?
The biggest pool may not be their biggest benefit.
Yeah,
no.
It
is their biggest benefit. No, it is because if you got a certain amount of money, you want the biggest pool.
Yeah.
Everybody's not gonna buy the game.
Biggest audience.
Yeah, everybody's not gonna buy the game, but that's the biggest pool that's gonna go there.
Another question.
I mean, as far as people actually buying it compared to.
Yeah, because that's another question I want to ask as well. Yeah, because in relation to what you're saying, that's another question I want to ask as well. Because obviously, there are certain games like Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, and stuff that clearly there's a fan base because these games have done well on Nintendo systems in the past and even today because Kingdom Hearts games actually sell. Kingdom Hearts games are more profitable on the Nintendo's handhelds than they are on the home console. So. Like,
they don't have the time to develop it for the Wii U. If that's what you're asking, they don't have the time or money.
But then I don't understand why. Well, I guess I do actually understand because money hatting, obviously, because it just seems silly why, you would develop a game, you would develop a very Japanese-centric game for a very American-centric console like the Xbox because we all know because we know that.
Well,
porting from PC to Xbox is pretty simple.
But it's not even. It's not even just that, but no, I do understand that, and I do definitely agree with that. But it's not even just that as well. It's also the fact that because a lot of these companies have actually lost money due to developing games that were more Japanese focused and developing them on a console where they just haven't really sold well, like the Xbox.
I look
Well,
at it
because
this
of
way:
the
like
laws
the
of
last thing you want to
story.
do is get Microsoft on your bad side, because then they'll never money hide a game for you.
Oh yeah, Microsoft. Yeah, they mafia them up. They'll
Yeah, like if you're gonna bring a multi-plat game out, you put it and it's going to PlayStation 4. You have to put it on Xbox, because down the road maybe Microsoft will say, "Hey, we're gonna give you the chance to make an exclusive game for you, and we'll buy it."
Oh, Duo, by the way, check the group chat.
Huh?
Check the group chat.
Let me see. Oh yeah, if she want to jump in, jump in. I'm cool with her.
Okay.
But
Oh,
I didn't know you saw it or not.
but Double M. No, I'm sorry. I have it slide to the side because my computer. I was working on I was doing architecture, which is my other job, and I
Oh,
was
I
doing
see.
that. Sorry. But let me put it this way. You answer your own question right there. What we was talking about, Double M, which is basically this. That's why Kingdom Hearts. It's the same. It's the reason they didn't put it on the Nintendo because it's easier to port from PS4 to Xbox One. Now it's
Yep.
not gonna sell good on Xbox One. We
It's
know
gonna
that.
bomb. We know
It's
that.
gonna bomb. but Kingdom Hearts is such a big game that the money, like you just said, anytime they can't afford it to put it on the Wii right now. It's all. I mean, from the business sense. That's where most of my videos come from the business sense. I'm a gamer at heart, but there's always an answer behind certain things that never comes out that a lot of people don't know about. It's just
Yeah, 'cause
that.
it's not really for us.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
look, hence why I'm asking you all these questions, because I know you have a more inside knowledge of these things.
No, it's
what I
cool.
also wanted to, what I also want to ask you as well, because from a technological standpoint, because there's one thing I'm quite confident in is my knowledge in technology.
No problem. All right.
I was going to say, wouldn't it make more, because obviously the Wii U and the Xbox One share a similar design, not similar hardware, just like a similar design. Obviously, Xbox using x86 over the
The
Wii
ARM system, which is in the
using
Wii U. Yes.
the ARM system and the Power PC system. And which is no surprise because Xbox, well, after the original Xbox, Microsoft basically ripped off the same design concept of the GameCube. So they've been using it ever since. But yeah, do you think it would make more financial and viable sense if they started with the Wii U, then ported to the Xbox One, and then knowing that all they would have to do is literally convert the coding from Power PC to x86, and then from there they would obviously when they port to the PS4 they would just change the allocation they would change the allocation of the memory from the ESRAM to the main memory, and then obviously to PC is then that's the even easier move from what I know. Would you say that would be a more viable way to develop the games and port them?
From a business standpoint, no.
Okay.
No, because again, everybody as even for my business, you go for the mass market first. Just is what it is. You just go for the mass market first. Then you figure out, oh, does this sell? Then we're gonna port it over there. That's just what everybody does. That's why Nintendo is gonna do what it is. And Dr. Feelgood asked a question. Okay, it's not a power thing. Why did not do it on the 3DS? It goes back to the time and money. Sega don't have the time and money to break. It's about a 5-6 development guys working on Nintendo Elephant. It's not the usual Game
Not a
Freak
big
studio.
team. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're gonna slow down the development to make it parity? No, they're not gonna do that. They're not. They're just not gonna do that. Again,
it might come out later. Like
I think it's gonna come out. I have a high
I
probability.
think it'll come out later too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
So,
it is.
so really and truly, the simple answer to a lot of these questions that we've all realized is that it all just comes down to money.
It
Of course,
always
it's a
do,
business.
brother. It always do. It always do. It's never there. Like I said, when it comes to port, you're going PC. You're gonna go those higher. You're gonna go PC. Like I said, if Tendo was developed in the Unity engine,
Then it would be a different story.
Then it would be a different story. But it's not. It is not. It's developed by the x86 system. That's what it's developed in. And again, like we said many times, as we said with the Ultimate Tetris, Even though they're the same system, you still have to optimize. As we learned with the
Mhm.
PlayStation 4, the more powerful system, and you can't play Tetris. That's a problem.
So okay. Speaking on speaking in an ideal scenario,
Hmm.
if each console had roughly, on average, similar install bases, so let's say they were only like maybe 1 or 2 million apart from each other, would it? What I was saying before about porting
Still won't
upwards
make a
towards
difference.
one, it wouldn't make a difference. Why would you say that?
Because again, the money you're gonna pay extra. Let me put it this way: you are the company itself, right? You have easy. I don't know how should I phrase this. You're the company. You see all these companies. The easiest ports are still PlayStation, PC, and Xbox One. Would you still make the money for the port? Mm, the money and extra money for the port? No, because we saw that a lot in the seventh generation. A lot of games got pushed back because the Wii U had the Nintendo Wii had the biggest install base
Hmm.
for a lot of the AAA for a lot of the AAA games. Because I'll tell you right now, like I said, I worked on what do you call it? I worked on with FIFA World Cup 2006. After that, FIFA World Cup never came back to the Wii, and it's a bigger console install base.
So how comes it? Remind me, say it
It's
so I
just
didn't
more.
catch
It's
the
just
light.
more money. It's just a Nintendo's way of doing things with the architect system. You have to put in the magical word of more time, more money, and companies just do
Yeah.
not want that. It's just I want to I want to put out the least amount of money for the least amount and get the biggest benefit back.
Biggest return. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
what they do.
basically they'd rather make trash, sell it as gold, and then make a whole heap of money off it, fooling people.
That's what happened to publicly traded companies, man. That's what EA is, what it is, and Ubisoft is. Like I said, I never worked for Activision, so I can't say how Activision is. But
Hmm.
I do know that when I saw those people do that stuff, it's like, yeah, you know what? Like I told one of the guys, one of the YouTubers, Marty McFly, he's trying to become a game designer, and I told him, be careful, start up in indie, whatever. And I said I would never work for EA again unless they give me a lot of money. That's it. That is true. That is it. That is it. As long as they give me enough money, I'll work for EA. Other than that, no. My 2 games I did with them, I'm happy. Business-wise, it was a good business deal. But as a gamer, as anybody see what I've seen, you be like, fuck them.
I believe you, man.
I'll work
I
for
believe
you.
you, man.
So
I believe you, man.
from a business standpoint, it was good, but from a moral standpoint, it was just wrong.
Well, yeah, because like I said, everybody here. The only reason as you would know me as Liger N-duo, because everybody knows the YouTube community when it comes to gaming is not fanboyism, but just bullying all in together. That's why I'm not put out my real name or my real company, because I do not want them mixing my company and everything mixing other stuff. It's just I don't want avoid a headache.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
my
I believe
company,
you, man.
well, my company,
Look.
what my company, we do engineering for coding for games, like um, Foley coding, which is basically the sound effects. When you put in sound effects, and we do dubs for studios. So what happened is now when I went to EA and business-wise, they gave me a good amount of money because it's 2 things that came out of the EA deal. One was my company does, like I said, engineering, and also is a music label. We have done scores for
Mhm.
games. We have done scores for games. The first score I did for a movie was Cowboy Bebop the movie back in 2001.
Mhm.
We done
But
I'm just saying we have music on the game. We gain royalties and blah 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 whatever. Business wise was good, and I was happy that it fluid what it is. But when I saw again the crunch time, and when I saw some of the what do you call it, the contracts, when you got to sign your life away to some of these things as a developer, I'm like, no, I can't.
but
I can't. I love gaming too much to send
yeah.
my soul like.
Well, that's good that you still keep your passion for what you're doing. You still keep your passion and your morals
Yeah.
for what you're doing.
A lot of people. That's hard for a lot of people.
Exactly, but I mean, because when you think about, people got to pay bills at the end of the day. So
Yeah,
you know,
and
um,
that's why I gotta go against Alex. When I told Alex before we started, I said, "Hey, calm down on the Sony thing, because I got a contract with Sony." Calm down. I'll make my money from Sony now. Relax.
You know, where you make your money from is never really the crime. It's how you make your money.
Well, yeah, it's true. That is true. But like I said, I've been with Sony about 10 years. I got 2 more years in my contract. God's blessing that it's fruitionable. This year, my company, a lot of stuff happened, and we are backing away from gaming altogether because we lost a couple of people and stuff. Not to bring the talks down, but we lost a couple of people who passed away. So right now, we're just calming back and relaxing. But hopefully, Sony can get the S together because I've made a good amount chunk of change off of them, and I don't want to lose that. They're the
I don't blame you.
Yeah, gaming wise from them is what it is. But the reason I talk to a lot of people, like I said, I started this channel, whatever. Again, everybody, the IR pages of each company would tell you every single thing you need to know about what's the business side, and it's 100% proof right in front of you.
Well, this is what I made a video. I made a video one time on these things, and I literally went like, because I have this little thing which I used to do called my DGC news segment, and I made I had a thing called DGC news segment, and I basically it's basically videos where I basically use my Wii U web browser and I use my capture card to record it, and I actually put out the information with websites that have the facts, and one of the things we're talking about here, I've talked about those things in several videos, like the whole issue with power, the business side of things. One of the things I talked about with the business side of things is that, you know, people shouldn't really get too concerned and too personal with certain things, because a lot of it is just down to business, and a lot of it is down to people's lack of understanding of business. Like, people think that because Nintendo only sells this much compared to that company, whatever, that they're not making any money. But when you actually, or when they see that Nintendo takes a loss, which isn't really a loss in money, it's more of a loss in projection. You know,
yeah,
people want to
go on. I want to say, yeah, the loss in projection also, but they lose money. Investors don't want. Yeah.
Well, yeah, obviously, you know, in any business, if you make a projection, because I've worked as a supervisor in a company, and, you know, I've had I've had the opportunity to see how, you know, the financial side of things work, and, you know, I've seen obviously what the planned budgets are, and I've seen obviously what the planned budgets are. And, you know, the more you miss your targets, you know, the more you miss your targets, the more you lose an investment, which puts your company at risk. So I am fully aware of these things at the same time. But basically what I'm saying is that, you know, people need to not get so personally involved in these things, because a lot of people don't actually understand what is really taking place. You know, you don't really know unless you're actually working in the company and actually seeing these things happening.
You're right, but you're right, and I've said this in the video, which is funny. You're right, but the thing about it is people are gonna keep on saying what they're gonna say because of one thing. Back in the '90s, everybody knows this. When you were when you were growing up, you had maybe a brother, a sister, whatever. When you had when they had a diary, they were mortified if you found out about your diary, right? Now, in the age we're in right now, everybody puts up their personal information, everything, and they're angry that people don't read it.
It's true. It's true.
People don't read it, so they get angry. Oh, I post this video. I got no likes. What the hell? Because that's the infrastructure we have right now with gamers and everything. So yes. Like a bear hugger and everybody have said before, there are some decisions that Nintendo has made in the past. That's bad. I'm not going to deny it. But for the business sense, hey, if I want it, because Nintendo would have, I would say they have 2 more generations in consoles if they keep on going where they're going right now. Xbox, Microsoft, Xbox, and Sony. Like I said, like I told Alex, damn you Xbox for getting me to buy an Xbox on my PC. That's the only way you got me to buy a PC, get an Xbox, because of Windows 10.
Oh yeah, Windows, man. These guys are slick. Microsoft, they slick, man. They don't think they are slick. And then, Microsoft is slick.
And then, like I said again, with the whole shareholders thing, that again, gamers out there, you're not gonna flip a switch and say that you could own this company and do that. Again, Microsoft is trying to kick out Bill Gates right now. The guy who made the company, the shareholders are trying to kick out Bill Gates.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's what happens. That's what
Apple.
happens. Even if you're the person who built the company or whatever, if the
You go publicly traded.
if the shareholders see you as a detriment to the company, they're gonna push you out. They're gonna
Yes.
vote you out. And shareholder in any public limited company, because I studied this in business myself, shareholders rule.
Yeah. That's why when people say about like I said, like we said before, Iwata don't run Nintendo. Neither does Phil Spencer.
But,
Because again, look at Apple. Steve Jobs, the shareholders kicked out Steve Jobs back in late '90s, and they bombed, and they brought him back, and then he came up with the iPhone, the iPad, the iPod.
The I will con you out of money devices.
It's gonna be like one of those TV shows you watch.
Yeah. But watch right now, it's Steve Wozniak. We don't know if that's gonna work.
But I was gonna say something.
So,
carry on. I'll come back to what I was gonna say.
No problem, man. Hey, Coupon, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Cool. Thank you for joining my little first podcast. Like I said, I watch your videos. I love your me and my sister love your Amiibo madness. Love them.
Thanks.
So, but
hopefully I
like
can
I
get
said,
back to that.
huh?
I said hopefully I'll be getting back to that.
Well, you had to move, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully your move was safe and everything is all right, and you can get back to doing what you love to do. Because
no, this is good. We need to have more podcasts like this, definitely, so that people actually see what's going on within. People actually get an idea of what is actually taking place, and not what people are generally assuming. Because one of the reasons why I've kind of stepped off this YouTube stuff and things like that, because the honest truth is, I don't like. The honest truth is, I've realized that there's no point in looking.
What?
Alex, why you do that?
What?
What did Alex do?
Alex, you know what you just did.
I didn't do anything.
Yes, you did.
What the hell? I'm confused.
I don't know. Alex must have did something.
What?
I thought it was something I did for a second or something I said.
I honestly didn't do anything.
Okay, that's why I don't really get involved in too much of this stuff no more, because it's too much of a strain on. It's too much of a mental strain on your energy, wasting your breaths talking about things that talking about things that I'm not even 100% clued up on myself. And it's the thing, as a consumer, the way I look at it is that as a consumer, my purpose is to buy the product and enjoy it.
That's basically what you're supposed to do. That's why at the end of every video that I ever done, I always say there's no perfect game. What's perfect to you is not perfect to me. What's perfect to me is not perfect to you. Just play your games. Just stop.
At the end of every podcast, I always just say, play your games, enjoy your games, and just have fun.
Yeah, because that's what we all doing right here is gaming. And like I said, it's the part that killed me is I made a WTF video, one of episode 5, talking to the Nintendo fans. Don't get stressed out on certain things. The difference the difference, like me and Alex were talking about, Twilight just did a video talking about he's stepping away because the drama is too much sometimes.
It's too much. I can't deal with it. That's why I don't really make much videos anymore, unless it's unless it's actually focused around just solely talking about games. Like I recently started
like Zelda.
I recently started a podcast series where I start talking about Zelda theories and stuff because I really enjoy the Legend of Zelda games. And the only other things I may do sometimes, I may do like a little wind-up video like I did with the Uncharted one.
Yeah. Trust me, I love your.
It's better that way.
I know. I love your video when you did with from the game trailers, not the game trailers, Game Awards, when you came with your wallet, like the altar. That's awesome. Like Zelda, you have my money. Look, I mean, anybody who's listening to this now or after, right? Gaming. I'm just saying, for anybody who listen to this podcast after, on YouTube and everything, like I said, the main reason I did that video was, why stress yourself out? We use video games to relax or get away from the world. That's all we do. Why would I take other people's stress and argue in the videos? The many times I've seen comments that's just like,
That's why I don't really get involved in these things. That's why you don't really see me do as many videos anymore, because I just think to myself, none of these companies are paying me a check.
None.
Wow.
Not even like even certain things that Nintendo do, you know, like when they don't put voice chat in the game and stuff like that. You know what? The way I see it is just I know what I was getting into when I bought this system. So
Thank you.
That's what I shouldn't. Oh my God! Thank you for that.
For me, I don't feel. For me, I'm not the one making the decisions here. The decision I make is to put my money into the console. A lot of these extra features and stuff like that, you know, we never had them in the past, and they're bonuses, they're little added benefits and stuff. And if
It's like icing on the cake of deal.
exactly, and if this company doesn't want to, there's no feeling of entitlement here. If this company doesn't want to give you said extras another company does, and you don't like the fact that this company doesn't, then you're gonna have to move on to the next company. And if that company doesn't have the games you want, then you're just gonna have. If that company doesn't have the games you want and this company does, but it doesn't have the features, you got to decide what's more important, games or features. If the games are more important to you, then you got to suck it up and then just, you know, deal with. You just got to suck it up, and deal with the fact that this system hasn't got the features you want, but it has the games you want. If you prefer the features, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with you prefer games or features, even though it is a games console, so you should go for the games.
But yeah, but it goes back to the Nelson's report that came out. Look at the list of all the 5 things that everybody who likes their console like. Graphics, Blu-ray player, PlayStation, brand name, and I still don't know how.
But that's another thing about let me go on one thing about the Blu-ray. This is another thing about things that people don't realize that, you know, people think that putting a Blu-ray player or a DVD player in a console is a simple thing. It's just buying a drive. No, you as a big corporate company, and you can correct me if I'm wrong this again, you have to pay some form of royalties to the people, to like movie companies, pay some form of money to movie companies and stuff to have rights to have certain content played on your system.
Oh, no, you don't.
You don't.
Because
so you have to still pay money for like a decoder.
It's the opposite way.
Information.
The companies. Yeah, because the Blu-ray Association, which is comprised of a lot of people, Sony's one of them. The movies pay the Blu-ray Association, and whoever has the drives, they also pay the Blu-ray Association. So it's not, they don't have to go, you know, they don't pay each other beyond that.
But they have to pay the association, though, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Well,
but,
yeah.
I mean,
that was my mistake. That was my mistake in not realizing the association part. But you get the point.
That's probably why Nintendo doesn't have a Blu-ray player on there.
Yeah, because
they didn't want to pay those royalties and whatnot.
But yeah, the point I'm making is, and thanks for correcting me on this. The point I'm making is that there's more cost than just putting in the DVD drive or the Blu-ray drive, isn't there?
Yeah, because here's something that a lot of people keep on forgetting. I mean, do anybody knows? And I've seen it with Coupon and Alex and Bear Hugger. The reason why the PlayStation 3 lost a ton load of money is because at the beginning of the Blu-ray wars, which was Blu-ray and hard and HD DVD, which was Toshiba. That was the beginning of the war. So back then, a Blu-ray player was $700-800.
Yeah.
And that's why PlayStation lost a buttload, because they're not at that time. They were not the electronic giants they were back in the 90s. Apple, Samsung came out. Toshiba's coming up.
Or PS.
Huh? What you said?
No, I'm saying like with the PlayStation, even before that.
Yeah. The reason PlayStation 2 sold, which is the gimmick, was the DVD player. But then Sony was Sony was the biggest. Sony was the biggest electronic giant at the time. Remember, at that same time, Steve Jobs got kicked out of Apple, so they didn't have no competition. So when they put in
Samsung wasn't really coming up like they are today.
No, they won't, and that's what. And also the DVD the DVD war basically started at 96. So think about it. In 1999, 200, the parts for making a DVD was cheap.
And if I'm correct, with the PlayStation as well, the reason why that was so successful because Sony was pushing for the CD to replace the audio tape format, wasn't they?
The reason PlayStation was the reason PlayStation itself became successful was the two major things which is the thing that Nintendo did. It was that developers at the time, and back then, the developers and publishers were the same people. They were not a big publicly shared, none of that stuff. There was not back then. When Midway did Mortal Kombat, it was with Ed Boon and them. They develop it, they publish it. Now you go to the whole publisher, blah blah blah, all that stuff. But
And a lot
back
more.
then, huh?
No, go on, Karen.
No, I was just saying that's what they do. So now, back when PlayStation came out, it gave an escape underneath Nintendo's tight hold of the cartridges and the license fees, which third-party developers went towards, which I have no problem with. I'm happy that they have it. As a Nintendo fan, I'm happy that happened because I played Ballerina Toshienden, Crash Bandicoot. I played all kind of games. It was fun.
Oh, PlayStation was the first home console that I owned for myself. You know, I mean, before it was more like, you know, the console was for the family, or, you know, it belonged to another family member or something like that. The first console I owned for myself was a PlayStation. So, you know, and I loved it. It was brilliant.
Oh, it had great games. On my channel, I never bashed no console because each console added something to the gaming market. Nintendo added the most, and that's why I wish a lot of people could respect them. If you don't like them or you grow out of love for Nintendo, that's cool. Just say you don't like them, but just don't S on them because here's a basic example. I watched game trailers. This had got on my skin.
Oh god.
I watched game trailers. They did the PAX East indie showcase. And those two people was talking about, wow, these are some good games coming out for the Nintendo. This is great. They're using the gamepad more than Nintendo. What the hell are you talking about? And they were like, oh, indie games are most synonymous with Xbox and PlayStation, not Nintendo. I'm like, what the hell are these people talking about? You a game journalism?
You know, the problem is these game journalists these game journalists are just, they're being obviously paid off by other companies. I mean, I know indirectly game trailers is being paid by Microsoft.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're getting paid out by Microsoft. My thing with gaming sites is you are journalism. You got a journalist as Coupon. You and Alex said back when you talk about when you did the Dr. Feelgood's Diagnostic, when you did the review thing. I really wish that these guys would take the ethics of journalism, but they don't, because one of the things I called GameSpot on was 2013 when they said Nintendo lost $8 billion. In their article, they never put the word yen. They just put $8 billion. So everybody thought it was US dollars, which is a lot of money.
Yeah.
But everybody, IGN, Game Trailers, Forbes, everybody ran with it. I'm like, what the hell? What, you guys copy from each other's papers now?
Yep, pretty much.
Well, this is what happens. It's like one site puts out an article and it just cycles around the whole gaming network.
Exactly. But here's the thing. They lost 8 billion yen, which is $250 million. That is chump change to $11 billion US dollars. That's nothing.
I mean, even to Nintendo, that's somewhat chump change as well. I mean, considering how much money they have.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. It's chump change, but my point is when people say that's what when people say about $8 billion and around with the article. That's nothing to Nintendo. Nintendo right now, again, they have $11 billion. Do I want them to release some of that billions of dollars to buy more studios and stuff? Yes, I'm not going to be stupid and not say that. But as one you would say, I think it's Terrell or whatever, where he kind of responds to Nintendo Project. They got 11 like me. I'm only got money because I don't want to spend money frivolously. I'm sorry.
Well, that's just what people don't understand of how business work in terms of finances. Businesses don't just throw out money just like that. They have a plan and they make predictions to say whether or not so and so is going to be viable, and then they check out the market, they check out all these different factors, and then they decide whether or not they're going to invest the money. And if even in the slightest way something does not seem financially viable, they're not going to do it. Period.
And you know, since we're talking about third parties, and this is the next thing I have to bring up right here, which is this: when third-party developers, and Alex and me talked about this, when they make those games, the first thing they do, other than come with a concept or whatever, they water it down so much because they do surveys and polls. That's what they do. They give out and say, hey, what is the mass appeal? Give a good example. Dying Light. Look at the face structure of everybody in Dying Light. They're the same face structure, not a difference. They just put a little mustache here, a little sideburn here. They ain't putting no concept into the game when they did that. Nintendo now one thing about them that makes their game magical, other than they make sure the gameplay is good, they do something that I've seen and I like is they make sure the aesthetics of the game is good. That's why when you watch Mario Kart,
that's what I love about Nintendo's games, because one of the things what I'm seeing with a lot, sorry to interrupt you, but one of the things I'm seeing with a lot of games that are being developed in terms of the graphics, because I'm a person, I try to pay attention to detail with certain things. One of the things I'm seeing with a lot of graphics is that basic aesthetics that should be in a game of this day and age are being put aside for extra facial features and things, for like extra hair on the eyebrows and stuff like that. And it's just like, you know, you're seeing games like Battlefield 4, which have like, you're seeing games like Battlefield 4, which have like, you know, brilliant character models, all muscly and everything, and you look like all sweat is coming. Well, to be honest, they don't even look like sweat is coming out. They look like they slapped a lot of baby oil on these characters. But then you look at like some of the effects of like the water, and you look at some of like the water effects and stuff like that, and it's just like, you know, you look at them and I'm thinking to myself, I'm seeing better attention to detail on GameCube games than I'm seeing in some of these games. I mean, even I was looking at some of the games that Sony bring out today, and the shadowing in the games in some of these games is almost non-existent. But then I go back and look at Crash Bandicoot, which was developed in 1990 something on a PlayStation, and it's actually got full moving shadows.
Well, you see, because the easy. Well, let me see. How the best way I could put this? Because like I said, I know to a certain extent. I'm not Shadow Fox now with his technology. Shadow Fox know about all this. No, but I know because I see it's easier to see. It's easier to make those character models, and just like I said, when you go to I should say aesthetics. Like I said, like the art style, you can. It's easy to how should I say, like transition shadows and it, you know, stuff like that easy because like I said, you look at Mario Kart. When you drive down the dirt, you see the dirt go in the wheels.
Mm-hmm.
When you drive and when you even on the snow track like Warrior Mountain, when you see the snow packed into the wheel wheel treads, you see stuff like that. You go to Forza, which is on the Xbox, they don't do that, and it's a more realistic game. They make sure they pay attention to what's going on in the real world of Nintendo and put it in there. Like everybody said with Kirby's Epic, with Kirby's Dream of Curse, you see the fingerprint on the model for Kirby. Mm-hmm. They make sure the aesthetics pop. They always been and always do that because, which game I should say like, dang, like I said, Mario Kart is one of them. What other game came? Oh, like Mario 3D World. That's the one I was talking about. Like Mario 3D World. What? They didn't have to put rain effects on when you go into the rain stage to hit against your screen. But they wanted to make you. They want to immerse.
And those rain effects are really nice.
They want to immerse into the atmosphere. And
even going to a game as old as Twilight Princess, it's just like, you know, when you actually, even though it's done on a basic level, when you go into water. And then you come out of the water, you actually see Link's clothes. You actually see the clothes, the water dripping off the clothes.
Yep, and you know what? And you're right when you talk about GameCube games. Like I said, Metroid Prime is the best example of that.
Mm-hmm. Because
you use your charge cannon, you can see Samus's face. When you look up in the
you can see the smoke come out the cannon as well. You see when you have high intensity light being hit at you, then you see the reflection of Samus's eyes and things like that.
Or if you hit somebody with a plasma beam, you see the vaporize slowly, like burning crisp. They take attention to detail. That's one thing Nintendo does
and that's what I love about their games. And this is, to me, that's what appreciation for good graphics is. Appreciation for good graphics isn't seeing how much baby oil is on a character's veins and muscles. Appreciation for good graphics is seeing, is looking at it in a holistic sense, appreciating the aesthetics, the little attention to details that didn't necessarily have to be there, but they're there.
Yeah, and
character models to me is I don't see the necessity in trying to make character models so amazing, because at the end of the day, if you're to me, character models are stylized depending on what style you choose to go for. So, for instance, Bayonetta 2 hasn't got most realistic looking character models in the world. I mean, and that's because Bayonetta is a stylized design. But then when you look at the whole environment around you in Bayonetta 2, it looks absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, and that's not even a full-on AAA title. They still managed to make that game gorgeous.
Yeah, and again, this is and the thing about it that we are with third parties that we gotta point out. Like I said, since this is what I'm talking about. Again, they made their money. No, 104, 101. They made their money, but it was kind of. I'll tell the truth on that. But Bayonetta 2, they have made their money. Platinum Games have made their money back on that game.
Yeah.
Hyrule Warriors.
Same with Hyrule Warriors. Yeah, I was just gonna say that because
Hyrule
like Tecmo
Warriors,
came out and said that they revitalized the whole franchise.
Well, here's the thing that everybody needs to remember too, because remember, Hyrule Warriors Dynasty 8 just came out. Let's see how that sells on the other platforms. But I digress.
I remember Samurai Warriors 4 came out on PS4 like a little while after Hyrule Warriors, and in comparison, it bombed.
But here, you're right, and here's the thing that killed me: the director of Hyrule Warriors. You know how much. Do you guys know how much they needed to sell in the U.S. market, or should I say Western market, to become profitable?
Wasn't it only like 300,000?
100,000.
Oh wow!
So they
they sold over 1 million.
Yeah, they're over 1 million now.
The game looks graphically amazing as well.
And but they sold over 1 million. That game has made Nintendo money for Koei Tecmo.
And look how much content the game has in it as well. And
Ridiculous amount of content.
That's just like I'm playing that game scares me because I look at the adventure mode and I'm thinking to myself, I barely got through this first map and there's still 3 more maps on here.
Yeah.
Dude, don't remind me. Me and my sister's like, holy crap, we can't get. I think we're 35% in the first adventure map. We getting there, and it's just crazy. It is.
To be fair, Hyrule Warriors is one of my favorite Wii U games.
Yeah,
it's a good game. My only issue with it is like the frame rate drops get kind of annoying, but other than that, the game is great.
But you know what? But to what you just said, Alex, because me and Katie, because we have a different system. I mean, we grew up in a different, how should I put this? The environment we have. Yes, the frame rate drops. Yes, the frame rate drops when you're using the gamepad and the Wii U and the TV. But we have put hours into that game, the split screen. That was a cool use of the split screen. I don't care.
Yeah. I played it. I played it with my cousin. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, it's horrible. This is that," and I played it with my cousin. I thought to myself, yes, you could see, notice a difference, but it's nowhere near to the point where it's unplayable. It's perfectly playable.
There you go. Look at again, Ultimate Tetris on a PlayStation 4. Frame rate drop was to 1%.
Oh wow.
1 frame per second.
That's terrible.
A game on a PlayStation 4 that don't need no power, no colors, no shaders, none of that stuff, and only runs 1 to 2 frames per second. That's terrible.
Sad. That's dreadful.
That's kind of sad.
That's poor programming right there.
That is poor. That's poor optimization. It ain't programming. It's optimization. That should have never happened. But when you're rushing things out, you rush things out. Like I said, Hyrule Warriors came. They made money. I can tell you right now, I think when I go back to Japan in summer or something like that, I'll see if my boy Kenji can hook me up and talk to the director. I'll bet you he's like, all right, Nintendo, hey Mo, how about Mario? How about Donkey Kong? Give us something else so we can make more of this money. Because they had never made this kind of money from those games, except for the first 4 games. Because that was the first iteration. They never made this kind of money back from that at all. And again, Bayonetta 2 has made its money back. And again, it's on its way to do the Platinum Operation Platinum, is going to get there because we know it sells over time. And again, anybody out there who just joined us, add 20% digital sales to the VG charts, and you're going to get the best estimate you can get when it comes to that game. Yeah.
And I was going to say as well in terms of Bayonetta 2, I was going to say in terms of Bayonetta 2. When Digital Foundries put out that bullshit post about the game, which I've played both Bayonetta 1 and 2, and I played Bayonetta 1 on the 360. The thing, people say that, oh, the game runs. Oh, Digital Founders were saying, oh, the game runs like Bayonetta 1 on the 360, and I just put out a video saying that, you know, I had no problems playing Bayonetta 1 on the 360, so even if it ran like Bayonetta 1 on the 360, I don't see the issue.
Like I said, it's just weird. I'm right now. I'm happy that Nintendo is reaching out to, like I said, Koei Tecmo and everybody else, and they are basically looking over the games, which is good. I'm happy they did that. Yeah. And a thing that a lot of people also need to know too, because this is a point that always kills me. Everybody, because I tell this to Axe again in the beginning of the podcast. They gave third-party developers 2 years. They gave the dev kits to the third-party developers, EA, Ubisoft. They gave them the kit before. In other words, the third-party developers had it way longer than they had the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One dev kit. That's why you're having this problem right now. None of their games has a problem, because as much as Wii U as people argue about 1080p, 60 frames per second, hey, the most console that has it right now is the Wii U.
I mean, Smash for Wii U is probably one of the only games that runs at probably one of the only big AAA high quality games that runs at 1080p 60 frames locked.
Yeah.
That is a remaster.
Yeah, and as Alex and Coupon, you guys make jokes in y'all podcast with me, yeah. And Mario Kart only has 1 second, 1 frame drop. 59.
I see every time that happmes.
I can see that with mine.
Every time I see that 1 frame drop, and it disgusts me, and I turn the game off.
But question I have for you, N-duo.
Yeah.
Because one of the things I was saying, and again, like I said, quote me if I'm wrong.
No problem.
Like a lot of reasons why Nintendo tend to go for 720. A lot of reasons why Nintendo tend to go for 720p, and I got this information based off an interview I saw with Shinen on Nano Assault Neo. Is that because the fill rate jump from 720p to 1080p is quite high, it's something like 200%. And because obviously Nintendo do a lot more like animated games and stuff, and there's a lot of cases where to go from 720p to 1080p, there's no point, because you don't really see any major differences. Better you take those 200% worth of resources and use them to add additional effects and stuff, which is what Shinen done with Nano Assault Neo.
That game is gorgeous.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And also as well, because you know, even for anyone knows that even for PC, 1080p can be quite taxing. So you know, 720p is almost like a sweet spot. So you know, I just want to know. I just want you to kind of like confirm whether I'm right or wrong.
It is a sweet spot, but what the guy said with the interview is right. But here's what I like to add to that, which is this. Remember, as all of us has talked about this, Nintendo knows when they're making their games, they don't need we need more power. They find a way to work around it, like you just said. Best example again is Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers is Twitch-based. It's fast. It needs certain stuff. What did Sakurai did to make sure that everything was working at 60 frames per second? The trophies were dropped back to 30 frames per second, so it would not tax the game.
Yeah, and they don't need to run at 60 frames because they run automatically. So you know.
Yeah, but you see, what I'm trying to say though, but there's a developer that saw a problem and worked around it. Everybody else is trying to keep pushing, and like I said, I have no problem where they say, hey, let's drop it back. Let's drop it back to 900 frames. 900p and everything else. Yeah, if the game works, the game works. The truth is really right now, and this is electronics all together.
To be honest, I don't even have a problem as long as it's not necessarily needed. I don't have a problem if games get cut back to 30 frames, as long as you keep the 30 frames locked.
And you don't bullshit people. Let's say that too.
Yeah, because there's nothing wrong with 30 frames is perfect. 30 frames is perfectly playable as long as you can keep it locked at that frame rate.
Yeah, you see, my problem is don't bullshit people, right? Please, just don't. If you gotta push it back, just come out and say push it back. Don't give us the whole cinematic experience. Stop that. That don't make no sense in what you're saying. Just say you lock it.
And this
it don't make sense.
And
but I want to point out.
Sorry, go on.
I'm gonna say, next thing I'm gonna point out too, which people you can see this in your TVs, futurized this film in TV right now, and it's basically confirming what you just said, Double M. It is harder to upscale. It's harder to upscale from standard definition or 720p up to 1080p. But when you get up to 4K, it's because the pixel is more pixelated. You can fill in those pixels easier because it's already set up for that system. Right now, they got a lot of TVs out there that can upscale movies and games now to close to 4K because it's easier to do that. But upscaling a game from the Wii to the Wii U, no, it's tougher. It is tough, like you just said. It is rough to do. So yes, let's go 720 or 900p.
And also as well, I want to say as well, like people don't, because when I was studying this when I was doing, I did a media module when I was in uni, and one of the things I found out is that the amount of storage space, the amount of bandwidth it takes for hence why Nintendo was smart when they made a system based on latency rather than theoretical peak bandwidth, because if you have low latency, then naturally the lower your latency, then the less restricted your bandwidth is.
Yeah.
Which is why Nintendo was smart by going with a lower latency system as opposed to a theoretical peak bandwidth system. But going aside from that, one of the things I found out that the level of bandwidth you need to go into 1080p, it's ridiculous. I mean, a lot of what we see on HD TVs and stuff like that is seriously compressed. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to do it.
Well, also, the thing with Nintendo, this part I do agree with. Shadow Fox did brought this up, and he's right, because remember, Nintendo is going out to two outputs, which is the gamepad and your TV. So they did what they had to do, which is a smart way to work around the the architect. That's what they did, and like I said, we play games. It's funny, like I said, we play games. We have fun with games, and the reason, like I said, I brought this podcast for third parties because again, third parties are basically BSing a lot of you gamers out there. It really is. Mm-hmm. The publishers don't get. That's why again I put in also comment when third-party publishers give a damn about gaming is when they care about third parties, because they don't care. They just want to just get their money and go. Nintendo does its. Like I said, Nintendo has its own faults. Like I said, Red Knight has his Wii voice chat. We have a voice chat. I'm forgetting. You guys in the movement I'm talking about. Sorry.
Yeah, we have a voice, which, in all honesty, I don't really.
We understand the options. We understand. We are gamers. We understand. Me and McKay.
Don't get me wrong. If they wanted to bring voice chat or party chat to the Wii U, I would not be adverse to it whatsoever. But it's not going to destroy my experience if it's not there.
Yeah, right. But what I'm trying to say, and we talked about again early in the talkcast, is the Nintendo Wii U. The Wii U has. And I say it again, it has voice chat capabilities, not the WeChat thing.
Yeah.
You could do it. The problem is that's their corporate. That's what they say. They don't want Splatoon to have it. That's their cause. That's what they call for. Mm-hmm. That's what they make it. So I want it to be in there. And one thing that a lot of people also forget too, when it comes to online structure, Nintendo loses a lot of money for Amiibo. Not for me. For the what's it called again?
Miiverse.
The Miiverse. Bingo. They lose millions of dollars for the Miiverse because you know how much money it is to run the servers and also to moderate that thing.
And this is another thing where people complain about certain features in the Wii U and stuff like that. Certain features that people are complaining about that are not in the Wii U, you have to pay to use them on other systems. Wii U's online is completely free, so you can't. You can't really expect Nintendo to be pumping out an online features on the same level as PlayStation and Xbox, because look at even PlayStation. As soon as they started putting certain on,
They can, but the problem is though you have to pay for it.
They could. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that the system can't do it.
You have to pay for it. Yeah. No, no. I'm just saying they can, but consumers, gamers will have to pay. Like I said, me, Coupon, Alex, everybody will have to pay 60, 50, 40, whatever the dollar is.
And I guarantee you, if Nintendo started charging to use their online infrastructure, I guarantee you a good amount of Nintendo fans and a good amount, obviously, Nintendo haters would start complaining about the fact that they have to pay for it. And that's the problem. That's the problem with people. It's the double standards.
Oh, there is a double standard. You can remember, as I don't know if as one of my videos was double standards. Because when Twilight said, "Oh, Twilight's gripe is with Order 86." My gripe is not with Golf and Splatoon. You telling me you're gonna pay $260 for a game, but because there's no voice chat in Splatoon, you don't want to play that? That's
madness.
Nowhere close.
Just like when these companies are developing games, they find workaround. We as gamers, we find workarounds. I mean, I played games online on the Wii, and I just had to find the workaround and go on Skype with one of my friends or whatever. Now we use Google Hangouts and stuff. Sometimes you just have to find workarounds. You can't keep expecting people to accommodate you. The more you expect people to accommodate you, guess what? The more you're gonna have to pay for it.
Well, yeah, like I said, I basically took Red Knight's videos and all his stuff, his phrases that he's done, and give it to my boy Kenji in Nintendo Japan. And like I said, I don't know if it could be patched in or not. I hope it can be. I have not seen like what updates could be done to the dev kit yet, because I said I've been in Japan in like a year and a half, maybe so, like something like that right now. But all I'm saying is, I mean, I respect anybody who wants that option. I respect anybody to have.
I don't have anything against people who want more within reason. At the end of the day.
The reason I want to say this because I've saw some videos of some guys, some of the people on the Gamers at Large, and they talk this stuff, and yes, Nintendo is not responsible for raising your kid. We know that, because they don't want to get sued. But what people don't understand is
that it's not necessarily about who Nintendo. It's not necessarily about Nintendo necessarily being responsible, because really and truly, I'm sure most of the people at Nintendo don't really care what an individual child decides to go on the internet watch. I'm sure they're checking out a lot worse than hearing a few people cuss over voice chat. So,
yeah, but
they have to do it to cover their own backs, because from a financial standpoint, gaming is all they have. It's not like Microsoft and Sony, where they have things to fall back on, where they can say, "Oh, I'm not a gaming company," and blah blah blah. It's not PR bullcrap.
Well, you know what?
Nintendo doesn't really have that to fall back on.
True that. Telling the truth, I am. When I go to Japan, I hope they get into this meeting, because since I've done anime studios and stuff, I want to talk to Nintendo about, hey, that link the Link and Kid Icarus fight scene and stuff like that. How about you do that as an anime and put it on your own console? That would make tons of money. Do your own anime on your own console, just like you did the Pikmin movies. Cool. You'll make a ton of money. That's something that you could do. But the part I was gonna say that is that when Nintendo don't care, but they don't want to get sued. Nintendo, Microsoft, Apple, every company from the Western market, they put millions of dollars on the side because people sue for the stupidest stuff. No matter what you say, there are people still, the people suing Nintendo right now still for having for the 3D thing on 3DS, because even though the box says age 7 and up, people still suing them. Oh, my child eyes is messed up. What? They did not send the box.
This is why when you hear lawsuits on certain things and stuff like that, another thing I say, people shouldn't get so concerned, because this is just everyday business. Someone's always going to try and rape you for some money.
Oh, Microsoft gets sued for the Kinect. Move also gets sued too. And then
even before the 7th generation, every single video game, Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft all got sued for the Rumble technology.
But Sony gets sued more from.
Well, Sony managed to avoid it for a while, and then they got sued just as the PS3 was about to come out.
Sony gets sued from gamers and from lawmakers. Sony's been sued so many times just from gamers and
Sony gets
actually,
sued by their own fan base for lying about their games.
Yeah, Sony just
putting that stab,
lost
right,
a lawsuit.
Alex?
Huh?
And that stab in there, right?
Oh yeah.
To actual gamers, they had to pay $25 million back to gamers for something with the Vita or something like that. So they owe money.
Really?
Sony's been getting sued left and right lately, and yeah,
But
just like they had to.
Go ahead. Sorry,
I can't remember where it's from, but Sony's been getting sued left and right because they've been lying about stuff They've been lying about so much stuff, and like you guys know, they had to refund. They had to get refunds for H1Z1, the last game. They have to get refunds for that game for lying about that. Yeah, and they owe it was around $25 million for lying about something about the Vita and people being deceived, and they got sued like last year a few times.
Yeah,
Sony did get sued left
they
and right.
lied about something in the marketing for the Vita, and they had to pay for it.
Yeah,
But
so they owe like $25 million.
let me ask y'all a question. Do you know Sony's making money off of the DS? The DS. They're making money off of the 3DS because Sony did came up with the technology for the 3D, but they never used it in the Vita. They were supposed to. They didn't use it, so the patent infringement. Even though the person who came for it do not work with Sony no more, but they have the patent infringement, so they are making. I think they're making like $1 or so off of each DS cartridge from DS.
That's good for them. That's all the money they lose on their Vita. Well, what else do you want to say? That's good. They're making money somewhere.
Yeah, so they're making money off of Nintendo.
Well, this is the thing with these businesses. Everyone goes on. Everyone fights over these companies, but the fact of the matter is, all of these businesses are partners
Exactly.
in some form, some way, shape, or form.
Sony owns the company that makes the screen for the gamepad.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Nintendo want to go with Sharp.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna hurt. You know, Sony don't want that. Sony crying now. Hey,
Who are you gonna
Sony
sue? Well, they can't-
I mean, to be honest, Sony's been making money from Nintendo from the beginning. They used to be the ones that developed the sound chips in their consoles.
Yep.
Yeah, they've been making money. Yeah, they just gotta fall out.
Well, they made.
And
They
same
made it-
thing,
they
like
made-
Microsoft
made it
pays
for,
Sony for every
PlayStation.
Xbox One because of the Blu-ray player.
And you know, everyone's got to pay. Everyone's paying Microsoft
Everybody
for something.
pays Microsoft.
The Blu-ray thing is since it's like a whole bunch of companies in the Blu-ray association. So I don't know who actually owns.
But Sony's a part of it.
Sony made the technology.
What happened
It
is
doesn't
Sony was the one that copyrighted Bluray.
Mm-hmm.
So they got a trademark.
No.
Do they still own
Sony
the copyright
still-
on
They're just a.
DVD format?
No. Time out. No, I'm saying they are part of the association. Sony don't get a big share, but they also get money because they have the trademark.
Yeah.
They own the
they
copyrights. They own the
get the
trademark. They got a trademark. They have the
So they get like a portion of what everybody else get.
Yeah, they got a little bit bigger because they trademark.
I don't know if anybody knows that. I don't know what it is. I don't know if anybody else knows how much it is, but I'm sure what percentage they get of it.
But yeah,
No, but
all of these companies are making money from each other in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Yeah,
By helping each other or by backstabbing.
Mm-hmm.
By helping each other or by backstabbing. So it makes no difference what it is. We all here are gamers. We're supposed to be playing games. That's what it's all about. I don't know what
We don't need to be.
I'm pretty sure we're all businessmen. we all work for Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
The way people make videos, you would assume so.
Hey, man.
You know what? That's too funny, Alex. But you know what? I want to also debunk one more thing before we get out of here, because I didn't think it's going to last as long as I thought it would have. But the next thing I want to debunk too is like, okay, Nintendo made a big mistake with the Wii name.
Yep,
I'm not going to.
Oh, yeah, that was horrible.
I agree.
They can say Wii 2 or something. Wii 2.
Wait,
Wii
just
U is
chipped in and
honestly
said,
the dumbest name they came up with.
That was stupid.
And to be honest, Nintendo has been
Perfect.
getting very lazy with their names of recent.
Oh yeah, new 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they couldn't have called that a Super 3DS, maybe?
Smash Brothers for Wii U and
Super
Smash Brothers for
Wii.
Such a
Wii.
bad name.
Mario Kart 7,
yeah,
Mario
but-
Kart 8,
yeah, but let's-
Smash Brothers for Wii U, Smash
But
Brothers
let's
for
do this right
3DS.
here. the Wii name was the Wii name. They wanted to back on the Wii name. That was their mistake. Boom, done. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Also, the advertising. This is the next thing a lot of people is forgetting now. We're in the age, as everybody has said many times. This is the first time I'm saying it now. We're in the age of 2015, the year. And advertising now has gotten expensive, one, and two, has been fractured so much because everybody's cutting the cable bill. Everybody's using Hulu, Netflix.
Yeah.
Advertising has gotten expensive because it's fractured so much now, and that's what
Nintendo's got to start putting some Wii U ads on Netflix.
But yeah, but all that takes, like I said, but that ramps up the budget so much. It ramps up the budget so much. Again, this is a Nintendo's problem. I'm not defending because that's what it is. But
that's their biggest problem.
Sony is it's their biggest problem. Like you said. But what I'm trying to say is like, the reason Sony hype is so good or whatever. Remember, they own studios in
that do like advertising. They own movie studios, music studios,
TV studios, and everything. They have that, so they have already connections to Hulu, to NBC.
Microsoft's just batshit rich.
Yeah, they'll just throw money until they get what they want. So,
but Microsoft also got, they slick with it because if you got Windows 8, if you try to play a video, it goes through Xbox Live video player.
Yeah, I know, I hate that.
I hate that. Makes you mad,
so,
but
Microsoft
so they got their own little advertising as well.
Advertise on.
Yeah,
Nintendo doesn't really have that to bank on.
Yeah,
they have to fork out the cold hard cash.
But that's what I'm trying to explain right there. That's what I'm saying. The advertisement for Nintendo is the bar is way higher. Now, they should have done advertisement better. The name should have been changed. It's all in the past. We can't do nothing about it. And like I said before, Nintendo Wii U is not the best selling out of the 3 generations, which I don't never care about that stuff anyway. But they got the biggest
sales numbers and profit are 2 different things.
Thank you. And they got the biggest profit out of the 2 combined.
And they always had the biggest profit. I mean, even when people saw the GameCube and they saw the sales numbers, they thought, "Oh, GameCube's a failure." They made a fair amount of money simply because they had the highest software attachment ratio out of it. The GameCube is 10-1. The GameCube has the highest software attachment ratio out of any system in history.
Okay, and let me add to what you just said right there. You had a highest attachment rate, and the Wii U sales rate is less than GameCube, but the Wii U has something that the GameCube don't have, which is WiiWare, indie games, backwards compatibility, all those things right there is money in the bank for Nintendo.
Exactly, and that's what I've always said this before. Wii U is home to the largest gaming library out of any system on the planet right now. There's only one console you don't have. There's only one home console you don't have access to games from on the Wii U, and that's GameCube.
For now, yeah.
For now, every other console you have access to game to. That's why when people complain, and I understand why they say it, but when people complain and say, "Oh, why isn't there like N64 games on the Wii Virtual Console?" Blah blah blah. There is N64 games. There is N64 games. Go on Wii mode.
Yeah, you brought up a good thing that I've commented on Mr. T's video about, and me and him had a little conversation in the comment section. Now, one of these days, I hope I could get with him and Shadow Fox, whatever. But guys, the reason why I should say the 64
I even done a video showing the actual game library of of access of games that you have on the Wii U. But
yeah, it's cool, but what I'm trying to point out is there's a reason why it's hard to port the how should I say this? Like everybody's like, where's the GameCube games? Where's the GameCube games? Where's the 64 games? 64 is harder to, the access is horrible. That's why it took a while to port Zelda 3D for 3D and also Majora's Mask. Okay, you have to rework the whole assets because they're not scalable at all.
Mm-hmm.
2, the GameCube one can be over, but there's a problem which goes back to the 6th generation when games became expensive. Basically, think of it as how should I say it? Think of it as the music market, licensing fees, and royalties are crazy. The politics behind gaming, a lot of people don't know about because so much studios, as you guys, again, Alex and everybody, you guys talk about too. Not who owns Crash Bandicoot has jumped to Activision now. They're not the same people who owns them, so you got to go to them and ask them to license and then work out the whole money scheme and blah 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 and all that stuff. And Mr. T was saying, well, Nintendo. That's why Nintendo is bragging that it took 6 months to port and make an HD version of Wind Waker. The answer is very simple. The designer, the art designer, the game designer, of course, which is Enuma, the composer, all those guys still work for Nintendo to this day. So they don't have to pay money out for royalties.
And the joke of it is that they actually rehauled every single asset in that game. People don't realize that game isn't just a simple upgrade to the graphics. Everything is, when they say a remaster of that game, everything in that game is completely remastered.
Everything's redone.
It's redone, but the assets for that was scalable. The assets for that was scalable. But I guess the reason I'm pointing this out because the licensing fees and the royalties that goes into contracts now, like right now, like the songs I give to EA, they can't really. They still pay me to this day in royalties. And
that's what I'm saying. When people do these contracts for certain things, the payment doesn't stop when the product doesn't sell no more. The payments don't stop when the product is done. The payments will continue to go on as long as the product is selling.
Yeah, it depends on the contract too. Because if you do a 360 deal where you get top heavy front, yeah, you could. After that, you could. Because let me make it easier. Kenji Inafune, he gave away. This is so easy to say, but Kenji Inafune, he didn't have the money to develop Mega Man, whatever. So he gave the IP to Capcom. That's why Capcom's blocking him. That's why Capcom's blocking him because
that every day now.
Oh, he regrets that, and
that's why he's trying to overcome it by making Mighty Number 9.
I can't wait for Mighty Number 9.
I know, right?
What's that supposed to come out anyway?
She's a.
Except for that shady ass DLC shit he was trying to pull, but
I know. But it's not him. It's not really him doing it. It's not Kenji doing it. It's the other producers doing that. But it is what it is. But for people out there who are not gamers, let me put it in real world topics. Let me see. What's that guy name again? Barry Manilow. You know who that guy is, right?
Barry Manilow? Yeah.
Yeah, you know who he is.
I've heard of him. I don't know who he is, but I've heard of him.
He's a white guy who did a lot of songs. He sold 86 million albums. Here's the thing that a lot of people, this is what I said about the 360 deal, where you got to watch out for that. If you in America, there's State Farm, the jingle.
The
State Farm is always on your side. Yes,
yeah.
You know the jingle.
Yeah.
He wrote that.
He wrote on your side.
Yeah, and he wrote that jingle 40 years ago. Right?
Holy shit.
How much money do you think he made off of that jingle?
Nothing.
Well, he made money, but you were right, Alex. $500.
Oh wow, that's piss poor.
That's all he made off.
Considering they use it in every commercial, yeah. That's
another example, which I guess is kind of, this one's more the complete opposite, is that Justin Timberlake made this song called "I'm Loving It," and to be fair, it was quite a corny and basic song, but he's making a shitload of money off of it simply because McDonald's used it as their slogan.
Yeah, because now people are getting smart with their contracts. They ain't stupid no more.
Yeah.
The amount of money McDonald's had to pay Justin Timberlake just to use those 3 words was crazy, and they're still paying him money to this day.
Well, yeah, and that's what they're paying it to the day. And it's all I'm saying for people who want the GameCube games and all these games everybody's asking about. There's royalties and license fees and everything in the background. The politics in gaming also is hindering a lot of good games.
And even when you say things about like scalability, I guess that kind of makes sense, because when you look at a lot of like some of the old games on the Wii on the Wii Virtual Console, you know, a lot of them, unless you actually go into because I had to do this myself, unless you actually go into the Wii U settings and scale down the resolutions and the aspect ratios and stuff, those games will never fill up the screen.
True, you're right. I'm just pointing out things in the market, like since you guys are here. This is stuff I wanted to do get out there because there's so many business decisions behind the screens that when people talk out of their butts and they don't know what the hell they're talking about, it's just like, you know, if I come to your job, Alex or Double and whatever, and I'm talking out of ass and you know your job that well, you're like, what the hell are you talking about? Get the hell out of here, man. Because you sound like an idiot when you say certain things. So, like I said, I got a small channel. Me and Katie just do this for the fun of it. We, like you said, and we don't get serious about it. The WTF is just basically to answer the stupidity, but we don't invest our time in it. We just play our games.
It's like I do IT. I like computers. I like IT and things like that. And then people keep on saying to me, "Oh, Mike, why don't you get a job in computers? Blah blah blah, this, that, and everything like that." And because I refuse to really go into work in the IT field simply because I've worked in it and I know what it's like, and it's not how I envisioned it personally. Because I'm more of a I like hardware and architecture. I'm more hands-on and those kind of things. You know, really and truly, the course I should have more done is electronics. But yeah, a lot of people say to me, "Oh, Mikey, you're good with computers. You can make money. Why don't you go in industry, blah, blah, and stuff?" And I keep having to explain to people, you don't understand how the industry is today, and there's a reason why I don't want to get into it. Worst comes to worst, I can get into it if I want to, but I have my reasons why I don't want to do it.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yes.
No, I'm gonna say I got you because my family and my friends, they always I build my own computers. And everybody's like, "Oh man, you can make a ton of money because like I said, like my PC rig that I have, the most powerful one I have right now. At the time when I built it, it was about, if I go to Alienware or Dell, it would have cost $3,000. I built it for $800.
Well, my PC that I built, you know, people think that my PC that I built, it cost me about £700 to do. And that's because, you know, when it comes to IT, if you know what people keep thinking, oh, gaming rig is going to cost $2,000 to $3,000. If you know what you're doing, you're not going to spend anywhere near that much.
Kind of like Nintendo. But anyway, let's go
I don't
beyond
know why
that.
people still have that misconception that you need to spend like $2,000 to get a computer to play games.
Well, I don't know why they do that because, like I said, my rig could.
You got to if you want a real video production computer.
Yeah,
Not
but if
gaming.
you're buying a computer just to play video games, like you can get away with like $500-$600, even $400 if you really want to go on the lower end.
Because there's so much competition between like AMD and Intel and Nvidia and AMD, you know, even the lowest end components still perform quite well.
Yeah, like my computer, I popped in a 750X Ti from Nvidia.
Nvidia, yeah.
And I can run all my games in 1080p 60 frames.
Yeah. And
it's
we
like,
and
it's like only $150. Yeah.
And you know what? The only I'm like, because I got attacked by somebody in the comment section of one of my videos who's like, "Stop defending Nintendo." I was like, which is go back to that Nintendo elephant thing. I said, "Dude, I never even mentioned Nintendo in my comment. What the hell are you talking about?" On my channels, I never said go out and buy a Nintendo Wii U or 3DS. I never said that. I said, you know what, buy what you want to buy.
We're not defending Nintendo. We're defending what goes on in gaming. Nintendo just happens to be at the center of all this. Like you said, the elephant in the room, the badass, big ass elephant in the room.
Yeah, but my point is, like I said, because of my channel, because from everybody else, I do not care what you buy. You buy what you want to buy. Like I said, the video that I'm going to put out hopefully this week, the 1 week link that is in gaming is preference. That's it. You can't stop that.
That's the thing. People always say certain things like, "Oh, why are you going to ask that for?" It's like, why do I need to go ask that over what someone else says? They're not paying my bills.
Yep.
That's what I said in my video. Then why do I care? Like I said to the Sony fans, hey guys, you want to play Order 86? Go right ahead, because nobody's in your house paying your bills. Buy what you want to buy.
Yeah, like I make fun of Sony a lot because I think they're not a great.
I don't even just so much make fun of Sony. I don't so much make fun of Sony. I make fun of the Sony fan base.
Yeah, mostly the fan base is what makes me laugh. But like, yeah, I make fun of Sony. I make fun of their fan base. But like, I'm not gonna ridicule you for buying a PS4. It's just like, don't get mad at me because I don't want one.
Like even when I made that joke, even when I made that joke video about Uncharted 4's delay with Ganondorf Sloth and stuff.
Yeah,
I even said in the description, I'm just doing this for fun. I actually have no issues with Uncharted being delayed because I don't. I really don't.
Actually, I wanted to thank you for that. I actually wanted somebody to do a Ganondorf laugh with that. And so I was so happy that you did that. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Hey, Coupon.
What's up?
I think I commented on one of your videos too. Like I said, my kid sister, she basically is doing work, so that's where she can join in. But she did the exact same thing you did when you play Hyrule Warriors. When she saw Ganondorf's head, she went, I was like, what the hell? What is? I got a coupon in my house now?
Really?
She did exactly the same thing. She said, from now on, Nintendo, I need to see those flying locks. I don't care. He has to have those locks.
Yeah, they're awesome.
That should be his new look going
That is
forward.
his new look. Yeah, that should just be the standard look for him from now on.
Yeah,
Long
because
Super Saiyan 3 red locks.
Yeah, because she has she does graphic design, and that's what she's in college for. So
cool.
she has already done she has already drawn him in so many different ways. It's like, oh great.
That's awesome.
But sorry, Sergio, I kind of interrupted you earlier on. What was you saying about when I was saying about that IT thing?
Say what?
Oh no, the only reason I said IT thing because the thing that pissed me off is, like I said, I could build any computers for fun, and my cousins and friends are like, oh man, you can make money off of that. The problem is though, and every time I build a computer, I always do a backup disk this to fix if anything ever happens.
The recovery disk?
Recovery disk, thank you, Alex, yes. Every person I give that computer to loses the disk. And then when the problem, because I know how to build a computer, I don't know what software you put on the daggone thing, so I don't know how to fix it. So every time they do that, it's like, they come, hey, yo, Liger, I need to fix this. I'm like, no.
That's what I'm saying. When I come to fix it, this is another thing I find frustrating. Human errors when it comes to computers piss me off because some of the things like people complain that their computers are slow and stuff like that. I look at some of these things that are on people's computers. I'm thinking to myself, this is why your computer's running slow. You're downloading junk from junk websites. Yeah, your computer's bugged to hell, and that's why it can't perform. A lot of 90% of the issues with computers are freaking human errors.
Yes, and that's why I say I don't want to build computers and sell it because I don't want to be the IT or the tech
because
response.
the IT person always gets blamed for everything. You could be in.
Oh, yeah, sure do.
You could be in. Like, you could go on your Facebook on a computer like anybody else goes on their Facebook, and then something just randomly goes wrong with the computer, because like I always say, computers are like cars. It could be functioning, it could seem like it's functioning perfectly, but really when you take it for an MLT test, there's 1,001 things. You find out you're driving a potential death machine. And that's what computers are like. They could be working perfectly with 1,001 problems with it that you don't realize, and one of them just waiting to spring up and F your computer up.
Yeah,
and it's just like I will be on the computer. I will be on someone's computer, and then this is why I always make, when I use other people's computer, I always make sure I only do about 10% of the stuff I would do on my own computer. But I would do something simple as go on Facebook, and then they would look at me and they would something go wrong with the computer and they'd be like, oh, what did you do, blah blah. I'd just be like, I went on Facebook like anybody else. Because you're the person who knows IT, they think as soon as you turn on, people assume that if you're an IT person, as soon as you turn on a computer, all of a sudden you're going around all these backdoor hacks, and then you're going into the code, and then people don't realize that you go on the internet like everybody else. You're not going through some secret passageway and typing in some commands to get to a certain web page or whatever. No, you're clicking on Google Chrome and you're typing in your website like any other person, and you're loading it up like any other individual. But people seem to think that you go through some next secret back routes and secret underground coding and stuff like that just to get to frickin' Facebook.
Well, like I said, that's computer for you, man. That's how it goes on. But it's like I said,
issues like that.
Huh?
No, I said I had issues like that.
Yep. And I'll give you my close example is my cousin. I built her computer in 2008. I couldn't get over the time to fix the computer. I went, and then I was like trying to walk her through it because I put on Windows 7 on there. Come to find out, she upgraded to Windows 8 without using the disk, which I didn't know about, and I had to go fix. I'm like, how the heck am I supposed to fix it? I did fix it, but it's like, this error. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But you know what? Like I said, I would. Like I said, I think we talked a good amount of stuff, guys. I am so happy that I get to finally talk to Alex, Double M. I know Coupon just busted out of his.
I'm still here.
What's up, Diva?
Oh,
You got a jet.
Yeah, I got a jet though.
I know my PSAs.
You're closing up, so.
before anybody goes, I gotta give a public service announcement. A quick public service announcement. It's a safety warning. Well, I guess it is. Anyways, anybody who likes Bluebell ice cream, throw them away. Throw them in the trash.
Or the
I guess
recall.
there's some, yeah, they're getting recalled because they got some people died from them. Eating them. They got some Listeria bacteria.
The milk got tainted. The milk got tainted. It's certain. It's basically the weird toppings. It's not toppings. The weird flavors. If you're a person like me, like vanilla and strawberry, you're good. But when you go to Fruity Tooty and Rocky Road with marshmallows, that's what's gonna mess you up.
Put it like this. Yeah. Put it like this. If it has more than 2 words, avoid it.
Yeah, if it's not chocolate or vanilla or strawberry.
Never even heard of that brand before. So
Strawberry.
okay.
Well, yeah, you in Canada, so you ain't got that.
I don't think we got that here, I guess.
You're in Canada, you don't get that. But yeah,
if the name is as long as the name of that thing, if the name is as long as the
flavor's locked.
Basically, don't eat strawberry twerk and swirl. It's probably not funny.
Twerk and swirl.
If the name is as long as the name of that DLC for Dead Rising 3 on the Xbox One, then don't buy it.
That's a SOL moment.
Oh man, I hear you guys. Yeah, but you know what? But I have to say, like I said, I'm happy to be in the community. Even the game is large, and active game of life. I tag in there, and I see a lot of people in there that's pretty cool. And hopefully I can get my because I know Coupon. You love to see girls with it gaming. So hopefully I can get my sister to kick in one of the future podcasts. Like I said, she had so much homework to do, and she got whatever. But she's a gamer person. She's a gamer just like everybody else. Like I said, when it comes to Pokemon, or when it comes to Smash Bros, like in our video about our 3DSs, if you see it, when she was like, and I got the the controller, the GameCube controller thing. I got it. And for anybody out there, I got it from I got it from Asia. Hopefully, again, the strike crap. But I got it for $19. I got it for $19. So I ain't gonna argue with free shipping.
I wouldn't.
Hey, I'll wait. I wait.
That's a deal.
That's a deal. But the thing is, when she opened the box, she was like, that's good for you. So who cares? Because I couldn't play. My button memory, of course, is to the GameCube controller. So she's been whooping my butt in Smash all the time. But now I got that back. Now she's angry because I'm whooping her back now. She's like, that's what she's like. I got my balls on me, bro. Oh yeah, I'm gonna whoop your butt, sir. In that video.
To be honest, it's people like it's gamer girls like Coupon who should be getting the attention, and not certain gamers, not certain people out there whose name begins with S. Well, surname begins with S.
But you know what? But like I said, I'm the only reason, like I said, Double M, I've seen your videos. I love your videos when you do the Zelda tribute, and then Active saying you're basically like my news feed.
I'm flattered and honored.
I go to Active Sin and he's always like, well, hey guys, I have no news for you. I got bad news or good news, whatever you use.
You know, since you said that,
bad news.
I know, right?
Since you said that, since you said that, I'm gonna try and put out a bit more content. Just since you said that.
Nah, we doing this for fun, and like I said, I love Coupon. I love me and my sister love what you guys do with your amiibos. It's pretty cool. That is awesome. I'm happy you have that.
Alex also been casting out that bait.
To be fair, I didn't think I was even doing anything too. I didn't even think I was doing anything too exciting in my videos. To be fair.
Yeah, I didn't either.
But the way it's not that exciting. It's just that when you do when you do short videos, that's straight to the point. It's funny. That's why I like it. When you came to the dark room and put your wallet under that Zelda, that was funny to me. Zelda, I'm gonna give you my money. Take it. Do whatever you want. That is awesome. And then including the podcast that Coupon and Alex and everybody's been in. Like, I love the last one you guys did with Dr. Feelgood, where Andre was like, and the joke of the day was with Andre like, I think Dr. Feelgood said, "Yeah, I don't like cartoon games." And Andre like, "Fuck you, motherfucker! I like cartoons. I like Bugs Bunny too, motherfucker." I was like.
You should. I can't remember what podcast it was, but I did a podcast with Mega Gamer Man where because everyone in the game, everyone in the gamers at large community knows me that I'm a person. I'm just a straight shooter. I don't give a shit.
And trust me, I'm cool with like I said.
You should see one of my podcasts that I was in Mega Gamer Man with where I literally straight shot at Rosalina. Why people are so obsessed with her.
First of all, don't start doing that now.
I know, right? I know, right? And Rose and Mega Gamer Man's a crazy guy. That dude, we need to bring him down off. We got to put Xanax in his food. We got to put Xanax in his food. He need to calm down. But like I said,
he's young and full of energy. That's all it is.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's a crazy person. Yeah, to Mega Gamer Man, he wanted to be in here. He trying to get him in.
He's really
but he's
cool.
A crazy guy.
He's really cool and down to earth.
Yeah, and of course, and I got big shout outs to Zen Gamer because Good Shepherd. I know he ain't talking or nothing, but basically we're from the islands. We're from the islands. I know, but we're from the islands. So we lived in poverty and all that stuff. So he's Zen Gamer's a brother from another mother with the island thing. I just don't have my island accent that strongly. But it's like I said, I want to thank every one of you guys. Time Out, Coupon, Double M, Active Sin. Like I said, this was longer than I thought I would ever thought it would have been, but it was good talking. I think I think hopefully people could get some stuff out of this because again.
Thank you, man. This has been a very great and insightful podcast. One of the best ones I've been in, and that's not
That's good.
Real chill, down to earth.
That's real good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you guys.
I haven't felt the need to cuss out anyone in this podcast.
Quite rare.
There's always someone I have to cuss out when I'm in a podcast.
Dude, I remember the podcast you did with Zen Gamer with the whole Jeopardy thing. You were cussing like hell.
What? Oh yeah.
Like what?
Jeopardy game. Yeah, did a podcast. Zen Gamer did a podcast when he did like Jeopardy for gaming, and it was him, Dr. Feelgood, Red Fox, and
that thing was fucking rigged, man. What do you mean? Now you're gonna get me started.
I gotta check that one out. I ain't seen that one.
Oh, it's on Zen Gamer. It's funny as hell because Dr. Feelgood was playing it safe, and he won it because he played it safe. Everybody was going for the high numbers. But
no, he won because he got some easy ass questions. That's why.
Dude, he chose the 200 and 400. Come on, that's how you play the game.
No, but even when he got some of the fouls,
you don't go for 16,000.
Even when he went for some of the 16,000 point ones, some of the questions he got was so easy. Hey,
well, some of them work.
Let me not go on about this because let me not go on because then I'll have to eat my words about saying that this is a podcast where I haven't cussed anyone or anything out on.
I got you.
Let me keep my clean sheet right now.
I know, right? But this is what gaming is supposed to be about. We talking, having fun, talking about games. I mean, like I said, I like Coupon. I like you, Coupon, when you got, including your video where you said, I'm coming straight at you guys. I don't give a crap no more. I'm saying it as is.
Yeah, get fed up.
I'm the only male in my family. I got a ton of strong women in my family, so you kind of felt like a kinship when you were like, you know what? Forget you guys. I'm not sugarcoating nothing for nobody no more. I'm trying. Don't come off as a lady, because I still remember the podcast you did with Bear when the guy called you a C-bomb.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow.
Whatever, I don't care. That just shows that some people can't handle it. I don't give a damn.
Yeah, that dude was angry.
He was angry. I didn't even say that to him.
And it was funny because, like, if you rewatch the podcast, I was the one calling everything garbage, bashing Sony. I even called some guy a loser.
Yeah, because Cooper was picking up.
And then she's the one getting called names. I'm just like, okay.
I'm like, oh, so because I have, things, I'm not allowed to talk. Okay. Whatever.
I know it was too funny because I'm like,
And I
dude,
just
how
laughed.
big,
I was like,
how
wow.
open is your butt for a truck to drive in there to be too buffered?
He was so angry. She shouldn't be on the podcast no more. Well, guess what? I am going to be on it, and I'm going to piss you off more. Ha ha! See if
I know,
care.
right? I know, right? But like I said, this is what gaming should be about, a podcast or whatever. I mean, I'm cool with just having my little channel and talking you, getting to talk to you guys and do your videos and stuff because we're not gonna reach out to the mass market. They're gonna keep on talking stuff way beyond what they're talking about. It is what it is.
We're gonna reach the mass market. Don't worry about that. We're gonna reach the mass market.
Yeah.
Okay, you smoking something? I want to know.
We're gonna reach the mass market, and when we get there, I ain't gonna
You
be
need to
lagging.
pass
We're
that
gonna
through.
make it.
My
Yeah,
goal
we
was
got
to
a
reach
question,
the
though.
little
The
guys.
only way we'll reach the mass market is if we lie and promise greatness and never
Hey,
come
don't worry about what the plan is. Don't worry about the
Start
plan.
some drama, you know,
Yeah,
be
man.
friendly behind the scenes, but mean to each other in front of the camera.
Hey, Alex.
I know, right?
Alex. Hold on,
Follow-
Alex. Wait a minute now, Alex. You just
Follow-
threw some
follow-
fish. You just threw some fish bait out on Facebook. You know who Kevin took? That's why I busted out laughing.
Oh,
It
was
wasn't
that
my
what that
fault.
was?
Like, it was in another group and I saw it and I didn't read the article.
Following
I fell for it.
following what
I know, right? But like I said, it's just about this what it's supposed to be. We're not gonna reach the mass market. You're right. You know what? It's all about gaming and people.
Hey, following what Active said, I'm just gonna say this: it doesn't matter who we are. What matters is our plan.
Hey, I got one.
Hey,
thing, though. I'm not sure if it was from earlier in the podcast.
Mhm.
I forgot. I had a question, but I forgot what it was. I just remembered it, so I'm gonna ask real quick. So for like you said, it's hard for a developer to port to the Wii U pretty much from the other systems. So what if a game is made for the Wii U? Is it as hard to port to?
It would. Yeah,
No,
it was
it is
really
not.
hard
It is
to
not
port the other
harder.
way.
No, it is not harder. The problem is though because the best example again, No More Heroes.
Yeah.
Sorry. No More Heroes or Raven Rabbits, or if you want to say Wii U, you want to say no, you know what the best? Let's keep it in the 8th generation. Rayman Legends. Rayman Legends
Yeah.
was not. It's easy to port over to those consoles, but you know what? It was not optimized because Microsoft never used Smart Glass.
Yeah.
Microsoft
The
never
only
used Smart
other version of Rayman Legends that even comes close is the Vita version because they have the little touchpad thing.
Yeah, but it's still nowhere close to.
Yeah,
the
it's still
gameplay.
not as good because that game was built for the Wii U.
Yeah, so to answer your question, yes, it's easy to port, but you never get. It's just like a bad port. It's just like they get a bad port from the Wii U. That's just what it is. Because Red Steel, like Red Steel 2, that's. I asked anybody out there to play that game if you could find it. Red Steel 2 was an amazing game that you could not do.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Why
yeah.
anyone would want to play that game without motion controls is beyond me.
You cannot play that game without motion controls because the gun switching between gun and sword was so buttery smooth. You can't do that no other game console.
So it's like with Twilight Princess on the Wii. I couldn't imagine playing Twilight Princess on the GameCube because the pointer, it's not even so much the sword controls because the sword controls are just waggle gestures. The pointer controls, being able to take your bow and arrow and shoot a dot from the distance.
Yeah, it brought the game to a new level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pointer controls were absolutely brilliant. I love that. I love using the bow and arrow in Twilight Princess. I rarely ever lock on.
Or you could say Skyward Swords because it's the same thing.
Yeah, but I'm saying in comparison to Twilight Princess and on the GameCube and on the Wii, just having those pointer controls made such a big difference. Like, I would literally sit on the horse or get my bow and arrow out, see an enemy from a far distance to the point where they just look like a speck and still hit them.
Yep.
And also as well, with the fishing as well. The fishing in that game is so in depth, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is cool. The fishing in that game is cool, but the point, like this is like what Tyrone was saying. Yeah, you don't optimize for the system, then you get a bad port, and that's where
Because another example Another example is when GoldenEye was ported from the Wii to the PS3. They didn't use the move controls, and there was some things that you could do in the Wii U version, like you could twist in and out of cover, and you couldn't do that in the other versions.
Yeah, because if you twirl the control, you could lean out behind the cover.
Which was pretty cool.
Which is pretty cool. And again, as Alex and all of us say, you cannot the mouse and keyboard, and then the remote and nunchuck. Dual sticks is nowhere close to the speed and preciseness of those two controllers ever.
As long as the Wiimote's done.
That's true. Because the system was built for that. That's why.
Yeah.
It was built with that in mind.
And for anybody out there, if you go to Amazon.com, there's two gadgets. They ain't got patterns, but it works. Because I gave it to a friend of mine, and it works. That you can hook it up to your. I'll try to do a link or something later on. I don't know in this video. It works that you can hook it up to your computer, and you can use the remote in Call of Duty for PC.
And it's a shame because considering the cost of development on the Wii at the time, especially when the cost of HD development was ridiculous, and then considering the fact that with the Wii U, they had that was just with the Wii I was saying before, but considering the fact that with the Wii U as well, they had so much time before other systems came out. You would think that companies would have taken advantage of that and made use of those features. They could have made some really incredible, good-selling games. But
WB did when they did Arkham Knight. I mean Arkham Knight Armored Edition. Sorry, Batman Arkham City.
I still haven't played Armored Edition.
They took the time and develop it, but again, and like I said on this podcast, I have pointed out many developers who love the Wii. Even Mike, I'll add the next name to it. Michael Arcel, who made Rayman Legends, he also is pissed at Ubisoft, and they got pictures of him boycotting because they pushed it back. They pushed it back to so it could be all the systems. Ubisoft did that decision, not him.
Yeah, Michael Ansel actually protested against it.
Oh, he hates it. He hated the deal. He didn't like it. Just like Shin Mikami hated the deal. Just like Kenji. And Hideki. All these guys love Nintendo. So it's not. They just want to. They just want to get their ideas out there to the gamers. Just like if they're a painter or musician.
They're just guys trying to make a game. They can only do what they're told to do.
This is the unfortunate.
Right, Alex.
This is the unfortunate thing. That's why one of the things I try and do. I try not to attack the developers too much because there are actually genuine people who have a passion for what they're doing, and they actually just want to get their games out there, but they just unfortunately have to be restricted to the rules of the publisher.
Well, we could talk already at dawn because that was bullcrap. The whole bitching about the scores. That was the developers saying that.
Sorry to jump in, but I'm in a jet.
No problem, man. I got work to do tomorrow. It just keep on going, but. Like I say, it's Coupon. Thank you for coming in. It was a pleasure. I mean, hopefully I could get you on an earlier podcast that we could start off early because I do want to do something about girl gaming with Katie.
Oh yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah, so we could talk about.
Coupon, I still want to do a podcast with you on something similar. Remember, I was talking to you before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I want to do this, with the girls and stuff because I don't want this whole thing that girls can't, because like I say, they can hold their weight in gaming too, and we don't need to be that hardcore, tattooed up, all that crap just to show that you're a hardcore girl, whatever.
Right.
Or show your tits and ass just to prove that you.
Oh my God, yes.
We don't need that. Heads up.
Because I need good, because obviously my little sister she's quite heavily into game. My little sister, she's quite heavily into gaming. And she's only 11, but she's pretty good. She's clocked a number of games already.
Yep.
And,
so
to have a good female gaming role model, to have good female gaming role models around it, it's only gonna be a benefit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yep. And as the Coupon, as you said many times, and everybody always forget this. I forgot her name again because I met her and I forgot her name. Remember, Bayonetta was designed by a woman. Come on, people, stop this whole male chauvinist crap. Yep. Okay, stop that. All right,
they neglect that on purpose, though. That's the thing. It's not that they forget; they neglect it on purpose. You can't possibly.
You're right.
The lead director of 343 is a woman.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Their game design's in there, but everybody wants to speak. That's the problem. Everybody wants to speak for somebody else. Like they're not speaking for me.
Even if you look in video games, you got characters like Samus, who's probably one of the most empowering female figures in gaming.
But they neglect her.
You know what? Let's stop it right there because I could say something. I don't want to carry it further. Right there. So right now, like I say, for everybody who's listening, I thank Coupon. Active Senses. You were the first one to be here, Active Senses. Really, thank you. Double M.
No problem,
Maybe
man.
when I come across to the British side, my brother, when I go over there do my meetings and stuff, I might get you over there.
Okay, man. Yeah, definitely give me a shout.
No
Where
problem.
actually do you live at?
Huh?
What country you live in?
London. I live in the UK, in London.
UK.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Rocket.
I was there last year. I was there last year at a DJ
I need
DJ
to
contest.
visit. I need to visit there.
It's a cool place. It's cool, and I should say, go there between now. Now's the best time to go because you don't want to go to winter, and you sure definitely don't want to go because when you go downtown with all the cobblestone and stuff, it's hot as hell down there, man.
I went last July. It was a DJ contest. I went. It was pretty hot. It was pretty hot.
Yeah, it was very hot last July.
Because it's old style buildings. They're not built
Mhm.
for.
Yeah, some of these buildings are hundreds of years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, it's the most draftiest place too because of the same thing. Because the wind bounces off of every damn thing. Good God.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I remember the joke was I came the year before in 2013. I came from Jamaica in June and back into England in July, right in the heat. So I went from heat to heat in a matter of no time.
Well, at least that's an easy adaptation. But like I said, man, I'm hopefully, like I said, my schedule is crazy because, like I said, I run a company and I got my own job, just like everybody has to. But like I said, I run my own business, international. So, but if I ever get an NCAST, anybody who's here, you guys are welcome to come back.
I'd be more than happy to come back.
Yeah, this was fun.
Yep.
It was a good one.
No, that's a good boy. I'm sorry, I gotta go.
Yeah, go ahead, Cooper. Thanks for coming.
Okay, catch you guys later.
All right, guys. Like I said, anybody out there, this is NCAST, the first one. I thank everybody who come out here and enjoyed it. Like I said, I don't know if I'll do one next Sunday because I said my schedule might be crazy, but we'll see. But if anybody who's here, I will put up I'll throw up like a invite around like between 12 or 2 to see if you have the time to do it around 7 or 8. Just let me know if you throw up an invite and we could talk about other stuff. But this one was cool that we talked about publishers and the part about gaming, and I hope a lot of people see this and see when we talk about third parties is not that it's irrelevant, but Nintendo don't need them right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that thing works out.
Is on point. Their business model is actually on point.
Yeah. So right now, everybody who's here is playing Nintendo. Enjoy your games. That's all it is. That's all we're doing. Xenoblade is coming out. Xenoblade Chronicles is coming out next. Splatoon's coming out. Oh man, and there are still games again in the IR page.
And then obviously obviously the crown jewel, the Pieza Resistance, the cream of the crop,
Zelda.
Yes, I'm sorry, I'm a massive Zelda fan.
The game of the year that won't win Game of the Year, Zelda.
Mm-hmm. But we'll probably do what Skyward.
Don't worry, it's gonna go to Star Fox.
But we'll probably do what
I want Star Fox so bad.
We'll probably do what Skyward Sword did and beat out every other AAA game in a deathmatch.
Of course.
Of course. But you know what? And to anybody out there who listens to this, remember, E3. Yes, it's coming. Don't put your hopes up, people, please.
I hope I've been up.
We have not heard none of. Huh?
The only time your hopes shouldn't be up is for Nintendo Directs, because that's just them giving information on stuff we already know. Like, I've never understood.
Yeah, but I don't. But I don't hype stuff up because, like I said, when it comes out, because we have not heard nothing from Mario Maker. We have not heard
we'll see
nothing
some stuff
from
about
Woody
that.
World. No, we will see it. But
somebody said something about there might be one this month. I forgot who it was.
Yeah, there's a rumor there's going to be a Direct this month.
I did say that. Yeah, they have a thing to do a Direct.
Somebody said that.
Yeah.
No, it is. They're trying to do one this month for the U.S. market.
Okay.
They're trying to do one for the U.S. market or the Western market.
It makes sense because there's usually apart from obviously E3, there's usually 3 major general directs in the year, which is usually 4. There's usually one around the beginning of the year, around spring, around the fall, and around autumn, and around the Christmas time.
Yeah. Well, you say what you said right there is true, except that you got to also remember the surprise directs.
Yeah.
There are a couple of directs that came out of nowhere,
Like that
and that's
Mario
situated
Kart
to
one
that
was
game
out of
itself.
nowhere.
I'm not talking about like the game-specific ones. I'm talking about like
Oh,
just
the general ones.
Yeah.
The general ones. Okay, yeah, okay. But like I said, the games are coming out. Don't get your going with a nice expectation. We know they're gonna be quality.
All I'm saying is, I gave them a free pass for the first one, talking about the 3DS, because 3DS was about to come out. But my God, if this next one's like 80% 3DS again, I'm gonna freak out.
Well, I'll send you some Xanax too. From like I was gonna make him a man. Like I said, I live my life not to expect on many things from people. When it comes out, it comes out. That's why.
Not only that, what you got to understand is you got to look at it based on the market. If you look at 3DS games, the majority of the best 3DS, the majority of the best 3DS games usually come out around the springtime. Hence why the first couple of general directs more focus on 3DS, and then when it comes close to the end of the year, when more Wii U games are coming out, that's when you get more.
The Wii U. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is. But like I said, but like Alex, I know Alex is saying what he said. My point is, we just want to play games. That's all it is.
Mhm.
And for the people out there, again, who always say, "But there's no games to play," you have 6 years of backwards capability. You got Steel. You have 007, like me and Double M talked about. That's a cool game.
You've got more than 6 years. I know there's some gems on the Wii that got missed, but you've got more than 6 years of You've got 6 years of backwards compatibility and 5 generations of gaming history to play on this system.
I know, and remember, PlayStation now only has 100 games.
100
You
plus.
gotta pay every month for that.
No, PlayStation now. You got to play for Plus to get now, and then
Yeah.
which is crazy. So you do what you want to do. Have fun with the game.
Notice how no one talks about PlayStation now? It must be
course.
terrible.
I'm confused. What is play? Ain't it Plus and now?
There's
what's
Plus
no?
is their online service.
Yeah.
Now is the streaming service
Yeah.
to play their PS3 games.
Yeah.
You know what? I said this before I came in. I don't know if any of you seen it, but I said it before. Sony pretty much came out and said, Plus is the network one, right?
Yeah. Plus is to play online.
Okay, yeah. So they pretty much said that, or admitted. I can't remember who was. One of the high ups from Sony said that one of the reasons why they got it now is because the PS4 they were selling at a loss when it first came out. This was before the PS4 came out, but somebody asked him a question. This guy in an interview, and they stated, will you be selling each PS4 at a loss? He's like, well, with PS Plus now on play, we won't be it won't be a issue. We won't really be selling it at a
on the
loss.
console, and then the Plus brings them over.
Pretty much what he said was.
Well,
Pretty
yeah,
much what he said was
because
PS Plus is making up the loss of the PS4.
Yeah.
well, yeah, it was the same thing with the Wii U. If you bought a game for the Wii U at the beginning, it makes
Then
up.
they broke even. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But right now,
But that's not the case anymore. Now they're actually making money when they sell a Wii U.
And I know we're all enjoying this podcast and stuff, and I'm thinking, don't get me wrong, I love it, but I do think N-duo
We
is
gotta
kind of
go.
trying to end it.
yeah, so that's all it is. Like I said, but like for anybody else, like I said, I'm gonna put out if for my next end cast, whatever I get a chance to, I'll put up a Sunday, and the Game is a Lodge or the Active Game of Life. I'll put up a link, whatever, to a podcast Sunday afternoon if anybody wants to join in, because that's my Sunday and Thursdays, but sometimes I come from work tired, like everybody else got their time, but Sundays is my downtime, unless I have architectural work I have to do, which technically speaking I have to do now after this. That Sunday's my downtime. So like I said, Ncast this is the first time. I enjoy everybody out there. I love everybody's input. Like I said, I give more respect to Alex since he was the first one to hear and talk to me. I felt like I was a lonely guy on the desert island. Like
I would have been there, man, but I didn't. I wasn't sure.
I did say I was gonna be a bit. I did say I was gonna be a bit late.
No, I know you did. You said that. I'm talking about with Bear Hugger and everybody. It was just like, oh, and Alex, and Mega Gamer Man and stuff. And Alex was like, hey, you're on the same lonely island as me. How you doing? So yeah, I was happy that you came through, Alex, and everything. Thank you guys at the most.
No
Like I
problem,
said,
man.
Active Sin, his YouTube channel. If you want news every second, he's like, he basically pulls that stuff out of his butt every day, and they're like, what the hell? Double M, like I said, I love your videos with your
Thanks, man.
with your comedy, and you might not think it's comedy, but I like it. Trust me.
You should see my hip hop gamer parody.
If you could beat Mr. T, then you're good. But I don't think you could beat Mr. T. Mr. T got the best
Listen,
character.
Mr. T's one was hilarious. God damn.
What? I didn't even remember him doing a hip hop game.
It was very recent. It's like a couple of videos back.
Oh no!
Oh, yeah,
no,
he
this-
already
my,
got
my,
that
my,
one, yeah.
oh, my parody is considerably older than that.
Yeah, check out hit. Yeah, okay, but his Mr. T. If you beat Mr. T, you good. But like I said, I like a couple of your videos. Time Out, you and me are small channels, and like I said, I've seen your video where you talk about the Mario stuff, which is pretty cool. Hopefully, we could try to get small channels out there in the atmosphere, in the mass media, whatever it is. And like I said, if you guys want to know what's going on about gaming behind the scenes, business-wise, that's what KD Flow is all about. That's our channel. Like I said, I'm also gonna do. I mean, we talk about game, which is fun. We talk about facts, like I said, like the WTF4, which talk about the industry. Unlike everybody else, I put the links directly to those guys' pages. Go there and check it out. EA, if you want to find how EA made a $900 million in DLC, go to their link. All the stuff you need to go through that stuff right there. And I think for fun, I'm gonna do we're working on this afternoon, which is a music corner. I'm calling it the N Jukes Box, where I took songs that I remixed Nintendo songs and songs from the Smash Brothers CD, and put it into one play. I put it to a long mix of rock. The first one would be like rock, like Xenoblade and Smash Brothers, Mute City, and all that stuff. Just rock. It's about 30 minutes long. Hopefully, I'll get it up there. So if you guys like music and games and you just love that atmosphere, I'm gonna do a couple of those for fun.
Cool.
So, yeah. So, like I said, man, I thank every one of y'all for coming in and joining in. Like I said, thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
You're welcome, man.
Yeah, man.
No problem, man. So, everybody, good night and have a good Monday morning. Don't tell your boss you were late now because of us. All right, guys. Catch you later.
All right.
See ya.
Bye.